Okay, so let's go ahead and load up this replay. So what are you primarily feeling like I should be looking for? Like, obviously I'm gonna look for everything I can think of, but like, what in your mind is what you're missing? You know what I mean?
Actually, I don't know. I'm pretty clueless. Like, whenever I finish a game, I'm thinking, I could have done what a 6-picker would have done. Kind of like, or like what I could have better.
Yeah, I got you.
So I don't know anything specific. I guess a lot of it is uh, just decision making, like deciding when to join fights, when to push. Like that's probably my biggest weakness, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so you first picked Slark. Let's probably gonna get counterpicked pretty hard. Troll Warlord and or Troll Warlord. Like Slark's obviously one of the better heroes against it, but Spearbreaker's pretty frustrating to play against. So let's see what you did in lane here. Okay, so you started off with. Did I miss something? I must have missed an engagement at the rune. I literally just started at the. Okay, yeah, I missed an engagement at the rune. I always tell people that it's really hard to get. Really hard to get top rune as Radiant. Or as Dire, I mean.
Yeah.
As Dire, you're just like you're.
Those ramps.
Yeah, they have like the high ground on you. So most of the time,
Yeah.
like, and it's obviously different, but like in coordinated pro games, like as Dire, we hardly ever go for top rune. Obviously, it's good to go for it, but like, if you want to like try to coach your team, I'd recommend on trying to tell them to go bottom instead of top. Like having Axe go bottom with someone else is much better, and then your Axe level call, which is just disgusting to me. But okay, we're gonna ignore that. Okay, so we're gonna focus on you and not him. So you're against a solo offlane Spearbreaker, mid Legion, Troll Warlord, safe lane, and a tri lane. Okay, so first things first, when you draw a creep aggro, I'm actually gonna do free camera. When you draw the creep aggro like you did,
right
I'm at the very start of the landing stage. Sorry.
Okay.
That's why it's a little bit more difficult to do replay analysis with you. But when you start, okay, you know what? I'm gonna have this happen here. I'm at the 49-second mark right now. That's where that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I do. So you're ready.
Yeah, so you pulled the creep wave aggro, and like what you could have done is that like you had it, so you pulled the creep wave aggro. Like this is just little things. I'm gonna focus on everything. You pulled the creep wave aggro, and then your 3 melee creeps went to his range creep, and then you focused on getting the melee last hit and missed a range creep last hit. Like that's just like something that happens a lot, so that's why I'm harping on it right away. Making sure you go for the range creep last hit. Assuming like you're in a lane where you'll be able to get it. Like if you're against like an Axe Dazzle or something, obviously you're not going to get that. But like against just a solo hero, you want to make sure you get every single CS. So like that's one little thing. That's just one missed CS that's unnecessary. And then you're doing the same thing again with like the next melee creep at 59 seconds. Like you missed another one because of the way you're handling the creep aggro. Like if you pulled the creeps away from him, but then like went for his range creep afterwards, and then like okay, it's really hard to explain. I'm gonna pause for a second here. I'm at 110, but okay, so like if you that's why it's harder in live or in replay. But if you pull the creep aggro towards you, where such that the 3 melee creeps come to your range creep, you have to kind of play it out where you're like killing his range creep as yours is dying, so that you can run back to your own melee creeps. Like, does that make sense to you? So that like you don't miss any CS, because like say you take too long to kill the enemy range creep and your range creep dies first, then like the enemy melee creeps aren't gonna like acknowledge you or aggro to you, and they're gonna like run into your tower. Or like so like the two bad scenarios is them like not acknowledging you and running into your tower, or you missing the range creep. So you kind of try to have to avoid that happening. Both of those, either one of those scenarios, because you also had it where you pulled the creep aggro again and you missed another melee creep. And that's just like, and you're not even missing it because you like don't know how to CS. You're just missing it because you're not even like in position to get the last hit. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. So I'm at about 120 right now. I'm just going through the laning stage. I'm gonna put it on about 2 times just to see little things you do. Your Axe is pulling for you, which is really frustrating, but there's not much you can do about it. Okay, last hitting under tower. Okay, so do you know my trick for last hitting under tower? Like, you did a pretty good job, but do you know it?
You hit times.
Like, do you know like how to check for its health and everything? I've talked about it on stream like once or twice, but the odds are you might not have been there.
Not really.
Okay, so there's actually like a specific formula to it. But if you have like, so I'll talk about it with Slark because he is one of the heroes that falls into the category. If you have 60 damage on your hero, like if your hero's like around 60 damage, so I'd say like 55 to 65, then what you do is like in terms of okay, obviously with the range creep you have to hit it once. If you're talking about the melee creep though, if the melee creep after the you have to check its health after the second tower shot. Okay, like you gotta make sure you know after the second tower shot, if it has less than 350 health, then you don't have to hit it. If it has more than 350, then you have to hit it. Like does that like do you know what I mean by hit it? Like get to set it up. Yeah, like you have to hit it once to set it up for your last. You know how sometimes if you're a 60 damage hero and it's like the tower hits it 5 times and then you hit the creep and it survives with 5 HP. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the creep survives with no HP. If you look at the tower, if you look at the creep after it's taken 2 tower shots, if it's at 350 or more health, then you're gonna have to hit it twice. Like you're gonna have to hit it once before and then a second time to get the last hit. And if it's at less than 350, then you only have to hit it once. Does that make sense?
Wait.
Like okay.
So hit it once to get
Like,
hit
it's
it one
like-
time to the last, or preemptively hit it once.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to make that clear. If it is at less than 350, you do not have to do any preemptive hits. You just have to hit it when it goes after 5 tower shots. If it is more than 350, you have to preemptively hit it once and then get the second hit with the last hit. So that's like when you're at a 60 damage hero, when you're 60 damage. If you're at 50, you almost always have to hit it so you can check. It's the same thing though. If you're a 50 damage hero, you check it. If it's at 340 or 345 or more, then you have to hit it. If it's at you know, like it's the same concept. But most of the time, it's like a 50 damage hero. You almost always have to hit it. The creep's almost like always between like 345 and 355. It's almost always in that range. So that's why like as a 60 damage hero, it's half and half. So I'm at 2 minutes now, so I'm gonna keep going. That's just a little thing. I want to make sure like that's something that I honestly didn't know until like a week ago. So Brax told me, and it's helped my last video. Yeah, checking health. Yeah, I saw it too. I saw it too.
Yeah.
So like he told me about it, and it helps a lot. Like it's actually like
Yeah.
it's 100% accurate. I've like been doing it, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I know that creeps are towers, so that's good. That's good advice for me.
Okay, other than that, okay, so you went Quelling Blade after the Ring of Bassi. The Ring of Bassi is just fine. You're basically by yourself in lane. So like you can't really like that's the thing. Like people ask me like why is Slark not a mid? Like obviously you just like you notice against Spearbreaker you can't really win solo. Like you're not gonna be able to do anything to him.
Spearbreaker has just way too much health.
Yeah, he has too much health, and like if he gets the occasional bash on you, he just wins the trade. So you clearly understand how to do creep aggro. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward about 4 times. You got okay, so you got ganked, but you survived. So what I've learned in the recent past is like for starting items, I know I used to say like always go stout, ring of protection plus a tango. But if you're under the so basically like in this scenario you have a jungler, right? So like I basically said like if you're in a scenario where you're most likely not going to have like a full-on support that's going to zone out the offlaner, which is most games now because people just don't know how to support. I usually go like 2 sets of tangos and a salve plus a stout shield, and like I'll still buy the same items after. Like I'll still go the treads, Ring of Aquila, Midas, and whatever. But like I just want to have super like extra regen so that I'll make it to level 6 without getting zoned out. You know. Because like if I don't go regen, then like I'll sometimes have games where I don't like I'm at level 5 and I have to like not be farming for 3 or 4 creep waves, and that's just something you want to avoid at all costs. So going the extra regen is totally worth it if that's what that means. So it looks like you're basically getting tri-lane top at the 5-minute mark. You have a Pudge that's ganking at level 5. Okay. So as Slark, it's really good to gauge your strength. So like, this is something. Okay, I'm at the 5-minute and 50-second mark. That's where I'm at right now. If you want to go ahead and get there,
I'm there too.
There's a pretty decent clash that happens right there. So I'm gonna rewind I'm gonna rewind to 5:45. So you see this fight going on, and like, in the early game, when you're not level 6, obviously you're not nearly as survivable as Slark. So like, what you want to like, what your offensive potential offering to this fight. So like, this is how I think about it. If I pounce in am I dead? Right? Like, that's how I think about
Yeah.
it. Like, can I get out? And you made the right call in terms of the fact that you obviously didn't pounce in because it's like, fuck, I'm dead. But what you could have done is that, like, so you go into this fight, so I'm going to make sure I get the time exactly right. It's at 550. You dark pacted.
Mm-hmm.
You dark pacted. The Spirit Breaker charged through you, and then with your dark pact, you ran away. Okay, like, and like you could have killed them both with your dark pact, or at least one of them, at least the Venge. And she
Yeah.
ends up dying, but you might have actually been able to get that lion. And the reason why I'm trying to like harp on is you knew the Spirit Breaker charged, right? So you knew he charged, and you still have pounce to get away. Like, you still have pounce, so like you
Yeah.
hold on to your pounce, which is absolutely right. But like in the other game, you can use your like dark pact as kind of like a, I'm gonna dark pact in. I know I can't get stunned, and then I'll immediately pounce out. Because like if you get stunned, you're just gonna obviously pact it off. So like that's what you could have done there. You could have like ran into the middle of all three of them with your pact, and then ran away. That's something you should have handled that differently, because you probably would have gotten level 6 from that kill if you did it. But then Spirit Breaker got level 6 and then turned on her. I'm not guaranteeing you could have killed that lion, but that's also something that I highly recommend that you do, because then you learn, like...
Yeah, because I was safe there.
Yeah. You were in a safer spot. And it's one of those that if you take that risk, and like, I'd say like with that risk, if I had to guess, about 1 out of 100 times you'd die because you did that. So like I just like if you don't play risky, then you'll never learn what's too risky, because it's really easy to tell yourself like it's really hard to tell yourself, man, I could have gone there and lived, but it's really easy to say like, oh fuck, I died, like that, and this is why, you know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to gauge whether or not you would have lived if you don't actually try. And that's why, like, sometimes in pubs, like, you know, people flame me in my stream when I do something stupid. Half the time I'm like actually trying to test my strength, I guess you could say. Like, I'm trying to test my bounds, and that's the kind of plays on Slark, is like using your pact early on, especially before you're level 6. And then, okay,
Yeah.
so you get gone on here, and you get dove. Okay, so at 7 minutes you got dove and died. So this is something I'm just gonna look at this and how you could handle
I
this.
saw him though.
Okay, wait. Oh, you did see that Legion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
So
got
basically,
cocky.
you saw the lion coming up. Like, that's one of those. That's just really reaction time. Like, the minute you saw the lion walk up, you should have pacted. Like, it's one of those where you said you got cocky. That's like, in that scenario, I would have played it very similarly. I just know, like, I would have been like alert, knowing the minute I see one of them even shift towards me, like look at me funny, I'm gonna push Dark Pact, and then Ultimate to get out. But yeah, so as long as you understand, like, it's totally fine if you understand that you're just like playing cocky, and those are fine things to die to. You just gotta remember why you died. And that's one of those you could have survived with the proper pact. So that's just something that, like, it's one of those. Was it a stupid decision, or was it just a slight misexecution? And that's every reason matters. Like, people don't acknowledge the why nearly enough. So in terms of, you're at 27 CS at 8 minutes. I feel like you are missing a lot of unnecessary CS, and I think it's mostly because of positioning that I talked about. Like, it's like several of them, like, with just weird creep aggro. Like, okay, so there was one time under tower that I saw it, but that you didn't take the range creep aggro off the tower, so that when you were last hitting melee creeps, because your melee creeps are dying to the to your own creep wave,
and the tower hit the
and then the tower hits the range creep. So like that's one thing, just like a little mechanic, to always make sure that if you have a range creep under tower, and you're obviously like like all these things apply where you're not like putting yourself in a position to die, right? Like, you don't want to, you're not gonna die for a last hit, but like if you're in a position where that's not a factor, then you got to make sure you take the creep aggro from the tower. Like, a lot of times you'll see me hang around right outside of tower range as the creep wave is coming towards me. Like, say I'm getting pushed in because my support is pulling, or it's like an axe off lane. I'll like make sure that I'm like getting hit a little bit by the melee creeps, such that the range creep is in range of me, so that it will hit me and follow me past the tower. Because if you don't do that, then you'll end up tanking a lot more later. Like, I end up tanking like 2 or 3 melee hits, like, outside of tower range, just so the range creeps like aggro to me, and then they'll follow me back. So that's just another like mechanic. Like I said, it's not like, a lot of people don't realize you're not missing last hits because you like have no idea how to last hit, in terms of, like, you know, when the creep's low, time it, hit it, right? That's not why you're missing last hits. You're missing last hits because you're putting yourself in positions that you're actually not able to get the last hit. So
Yeah.
so I'll go and continue. I'm at about 10 minutes. So you went and farmed the small camp. I know this is a small thing. I know it's a small thing, but everything adds up. At the 10-minute mark, you went and farmed the small camp. But what you could have done is that you could have taken the... Sorry, I'm spacing. You were at 9:53, and you were sitting right next to the large camp. You could have easily stacked that camp and pulled it into your creep wave. Like, that's one thing you can do as Slark in the safe lane, because that forces like weird interaction in your lane. So like I'm gonna go and rewind. I'm about 9:40 right now. So like you're at 9:53. Say you pull this wave, like you've already pushed your wave out, right? So you're setting yourself up for this pull because your wave's already pushed. You stack that camp and pull it into your creep wave, and then you like go do the creep wave right in front of the Vengeful Spirit, right? Do you, like you see? Have you ever seen me do that on stream? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like if you don't, I can explain it more. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I get.
Like, so I'm gonna try to explain it. Like, if anything, you can watch the stream while you're watching the replay. So like you pull the big camp into your creep wave, right? Like obviously, I'm sure you know how to do that pull. And then after you pull the big camp into your creep wave, you walk your hero down the lane to intercept their creep wave, such that their creep wave doesn't like aggro yours and yours like cancels the pull, and that like. It's hard to explain. That basically like relieves pressure on you, because like that takes away, like you instantly killed their creep wave with Dark Pact. Like you just Dark Pact their creep wave and kill it and get out, and then you just go farm a big camp, and then like if they're making any rotations, it's just really obvious, like because of the way the lane is. Like you're just in a really safe spot. So that's something I really like to do, especially like since you pushed out the wave. That's like what I love doing as Slark, is you could push out the wave, then pull the big camp. I've been trying to do that more and more. So that's just another lanema thing. That's just another like, and when I try to like, that's not only for farming. That also puts you like in a safer position in general. So one thing I always do as Slark versus Spirit Breaker is every time I finish a camp, I like get off the map, and knowing to myself I get off the map, meaning like I purposely know I'm in a spot where I'm in no vision, and check if my ulti's on, because that's how I check if I'm getting if I'm getting Spirit Breaker charged. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so like that's like a specific like Spirit Breakers, like, okay, every counter to Slark has things that they're only counters because they're harder to play against. They don't actually like, you know, win the game just because they're on the other team. Like Spirit Breaker is just I consider Spirit Breaker counter because he's very frustrating to play against. So then after that engagement, what happened? Oh, okay, you backed up and ran into a lion. Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do about that. They're just camping you really hard. I think at this point in the game, I would primarily be like, for instance, if you had like, okay, I'm gonna see when that Spirit Breaker started charging you. And this is actually like a very good one to harp on here, just because I'm curious to see.
Caught me off guard. I didn't know that war back there. So.
Yeah, that's one of those things where
I had no idea.
Honestly, I hate to say, as Slark, you kind of have to know they have wards. Like, so like, you walked, okay, at the 9:53 mark, you actually walked into the small camp. At 9:53, you walked into the small camp, and like 200 units before you actually got there, your ultimate went off. And then you went all the way from the small camp to the big camp with your ultimate off.
Yeah, I definitely should have known there.
Yeah, like that's nothing I can really say other than like you have to notice that. Like if you're playing Slark, like that's just something like people ask me. Like there's one game I played Drow against a Nyx, and I just super out of it, and I didn't notice my ultimate was like on Drow was like not showing up, meaning the Nyx was right on top of me. Slark's like the same way. Like the advantage of Slark is knowing people are in vision. So like right there, like I always check for vision, and it's one of those that if you don't have supports that are dewarding, you just have to at least know they have the wards there and play around it. Like especially against the Spirit Breaker, where if they have wards vision of you, then he can just like charge you at any time, which is really frustrating. Yeah. Then I just kind of try to avoid the wards. Like I figure out where they are based on where my ultimate is. Like I'll tuck behind some trees and see where the ward still sees me. And in that case, like if they have vision of you as Slark, obviously the nature of Dark Pact is like if you see them coming at you, then you can save yourself from all stuns, right? But if you can't see them coming, then you die. So like that's the whole point of Slark, is like because of his ultimate and the way it works with people not being able to see you, that's what you have to abuse as that hero in terms of survivable techniques. So you went back top, which is totally fine. I hope you know they have a ward there now. I don't know what your mindset was in the game. But yeah, like at this point in time, you're really far behind. So you bought your Ring of Aquila. I had a similar game in terms of like in my scrim earlier today. I was about to. Go ahead.
Wait, sorry, give me a sec. Okay, cool. Give me a no.
Hey, tell Banana I said hi.
Alright, sorry about that.
Oh, somebody. No, it's fine. I wasn't sure if you were talking to someone else. So it looks like you're okay. So it looks like you pinged a ward out there. That's good. This game's getting really out of control fast. You fell behind really early on, and that was to several deaths, and like that just renders you like super vulnerable in this kind of game. Between like 12 and 13, 15 minute mark, I'm just on fast forward until I see something that's alarming. It looks like your farming patterns are fine. You're also playing very safe, but at this point you're down 16 to 8. So you're kind of just like in a shitty spot. Your item choices are fine. You obviously didn't go for Midas because you had a slow start, which is fine.
Yeah.
You can't force the Midas. Like, you know, obviously, like if you're having a bad start, you have to go fighting items. Otherwise, you'll just fall too far behind. So look like you guys got a good kill at 17 minutes, and then you went back to farming. That's fine. In this kind of game, like I said, against Spearbreaker and specifically, you always have to check your ultimate whenever you leave lane. I mean, good rotations, like in terms of that 18-minute blah, like I'm just fast forwarding through stuff until I see something worth commenting on. Like, obviously, that rotation bottom to kill the Legion, like that was a good rotation. That was a good look for a kill. You saw you saw them being aggressive, so that's fine. Like you're talking about decision making. And then immediately after, you saw that your ultimate was off cooldown, or your ultimate wasn't triggered, so you knew you were being charged. That's just something to keep in mind. It didn't end up mattering. But then you went into their jungle, which is really good. And then you went Sange and Yasha, it looks like, because you needed it early, which is also right.
No.
I need to stop fast forwarding so fast. I'm trying to keep up. There's like nothing like, you're doing everything right now, so I'm not coaching you to tell you what you're doing right. Okay, wait, so you TP back to base. I need to rewind just a bit and see why you TP back to base. Okay, so you had to pop your ultimate to survive, and then you're no mana. Yeah. Looks like your team is owning with this Lina stun, though. Okay, so then, let's see, I'm gonna see what you do here. So this fight's basically over. You buy your Yasha. You have no ultimate. I'm just seeing your decision. So you end up going back bottom. In that scenario, then the fight was already over, and you had no ultimate, I would have just not gone. Like, I would have just gone back, like, farming my jungle, farming back my mid lane. There are 3 dead. You might end up finding this lion, and it ends up that you... Is he gonna die? The only thing is, like, that's a low, like a low reward, high risk kill. If, like, say something went south with you without your ultimate, like that's my thing as Slark, like you have to like your ultimate is like a get out of jail free card, you know? Like if you go on somebody and something goes wrong, you just ultimate to get away. But in that scenario, you went on him, it didn't get you a kill, and this is just one of those scenarios. It's now 21 minutes. It's spent about 2 minutes wasting your time, and you got a kill on Venge, which is nice and all. But my opinion on the matter is that you got a kill on Venge after about 2.5 minutes, and you could have just been farming like 800, 900 gold that whole time, and then showed up to this fight after it broke out later, and then you got some kills later. And it's one of those where like those kills later aren't exactly set up by like other plays. You can like if you weave in and out of the map and you're not always looking for fights, then like the other team has a hard time like gauging when you're gonna fight. Do you know what I mean? Like if you have a Shadow Blade and you lay dormant for like a minute and a half or two, the enemy team, like I promise you, that their mindset's not gonna be like they'll be scared of you for that first minute and a half. So like your Shadow Blade will have that effect, and then you don't fight them for a minute and a half, and then they're like, okay, like maybe I guess I'll just farm now. He's not even showing up, and then you go kill them. Like so, like right after that fight, you went back after having no ultimate, and like it ended up working out for some kills, but you probably missed out on like 2 or 3 times as much farm as you could have just had, just farming. So it looks like you go into their jungle. That's a really good idea. That's what I always do when I'm Slark and I have like decent map control. push towers. That's good. Like I'm at the 22-minute mark right now.
Yeah, same.
So you're just cutting off the creep wave. That's perfectly fine. You see them all top, pushing the tower. This is one of those things that every time I'd finish a tower, like against Spearbreaker, I would just make it sure there's some way I can ensure that I'm not getting charged. Like I just always make sure.
Yeah.
Like just make sure. Like wherever you have to run to make sure you're not in vision of even a ward, just so you know for 100% sure if he's charging you or not. That's like Spearbreaker in particular. But yeah, so you're just going back through their jungle. You're letting them take your tier 2, which is fine. You can't really fight right now. I like the Sange and Yasha pickup. It's kind of like I say, like people ask me when I go Sange and Yasha for Scotty, it's when you're kind of behind, but you need to fight now. It's the right call. The only thing I can say about this is that you know your team's kind of going to fight, so like you TP'd mid with mid mana. Let's see here. I'm just going to wait till this fight draws out and see how it goes. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd be at that fight.
Yeah, sorry, 1 second. It's one of those where, like, okay, if I have very little mana, right? First off, you did take a really long time to fly your item out. Just like once you get that Sange, it's really important to fly it out as soon as possible, especially when they have something like especially when they have a lion. I can't emphasize enough how important that is. And then, and then also like, if you're going to a fight and you don't need to use all your mana in that fight, like you said, the odds are you weren't actually needed. You know, like sure you helped like kill, like you leashed the Venge and killed her, but like, and what I'm trying to say is like either the decision as Slark is like when you're buying the items that I buy, like that I tell people to buy, is like if you're farming consistently, over time you're slowly gonna lose mana, right? So you're slowly gonna be like right now I'm watching at 24 minutes, you're just farming the map. You're sitting at about a third mana. Like that's perfectly enough to farm, and if someone goes on you, you can get away. But like, that's the difference between Sange and Yasha and Scotty, is like Scotty gives you a much larger mana pool. So what you have to acknowledge is that when you have 340 mana, your fighting potential is only 50% of what you having full mana. Like that's just not like people don't realize all the time how much Slark relies on mana to be fighting. You want to be constantly dark pacting, constantly leaping to chase people or to like leap up cliffs to get out of vision and have your ultimate regen. Like having full mana on Slark is like essential going into fight. So like the decision you're making is if I don't have full mana, if I'm gonna be at this fight, I need to TP home and be ready to fight. Like have time to regen at home and be there to make it. Like obviously you're gonna make it there really fast because you're like hasted. But it's just one of those things to keep in mind. Like once you have that ultimate orb, it's a little bit different. You have 500 mana, so that's really good. I'm watching this engagement at the Roche pit, and you had 500 mana, which was perfectly enough mana to fight. So like that's totally fine. And then you guys are doing Roche. The only thing I can say is that's why I love keeping my Quelling Blade, is for Roches. You did need the TP this game though, so that's totally fine. Like I'm just like for future reference, like it really does make it fast. Like, if you have a Quelling Blade and you have like a Sange and Yasha and or a Scotty at like 20 minutes, you can just do Roche after getting like 10 agi in a fight. Like it's actually like you can just solo it. The reason why you need the Sange and Yasha or the Scotty is like the attack flow makes it like just so Roche doesn't wreck you, because you're still like a low armor hero because you're Slark with 1.5 agi gain. But okay, so let's see where you're at here. You bought your parts for the Scotty. That's really good. A lot of people don't do that. You went back to farming. Always spam Dark Pact to farm. I'm just watching you farm a creep wave without using Dark Pact. It adds up. It's probably saves you a second and a half on the creep wave. It's also important. Not only is it like you're farming another creep wave, not using Dark Pact. Especially when you have Aegis, like not to be concerned about using a little bit of your mana pool. But like a big thing is like it's only costing you a second and a half of farm, but it makes it so that you're only hitting the creeps for a second and a half instead of 3 seconds. Do you know what I mean? So like the amount of time you're in vision and technically vulnerable is halved, and like that's just something that is like it's one of those. You took a good fight at their tier 1, they took a 2v4 or whatever. There's not much to say about that. You played fine, like you used your ultimate when proper. Like I'm not gonna say much about that. That's a good fight. You're pushing your tower as a team. I'm just trying to comment on the very little mistakes, and I'm trying to emphasize that if you do 200 of these little mistakes over the course of a 40-minute game, even though they are absolutely tiny, I'd say every mistake that I point out is probably 1 GPM. You know, so If you do a little thing here and there, it makes you have 700 instead of 900 if you're snowballing. Looks like you guys made a sick comeback. I thought you might give me a game where you're losing. Do you end up losing this? Like, don't just spoil it for me here.
Yeah, we do.
You end up losing this. Okay, this is okay. I can see why you took this as the game.
Yeah, this is a very roller coaster game.
We'll see how you fuck up here. Okay, so you come out of you with your Aegis. So now you use your ultimate, you should definitely get out. Yeah, okay, you got out. That's fine. I'm at the 30-minute mark, by the way. It's really hard to keep you like exactly with me, but because it's not a live replay, or it's not a live game. But okay, we're gonna go and fast forward this pause. I'm at the pause right now. 30 minutes and 40 seconds. So you push the racks. I mean, like that's what happens to Slark. You win like one big fight, and you have like a bunch of agi stacks, and you take their racks. I talk about that a lot, and that's exactly what you did. For some reason, your quick buy is constantly a Sage's mask on my screen. That's weird. Okay, there we go. Get rid of that. I was wondering why that was happening. So you're farming their jungle, and that's good. Like right now, you don't really want to fight them, right? You don't have your ultimate. Like it's up in 5 seconds. I'm at 31:20, but like you don't really have your ultimate. Like your whole team's not ready to fight. Like at this point in the game, like Slark's not going to be enough. Like, and you have to acknowledge as Slark, like as a big decision maker, can the other team chase me down if I kill somebody? Like for instance, the heroes I think of that can do that, Spearbreaker. Like Spearbreaker is one of them. Bloodseeker, if Bloodseeker gets his rupture off on you, you're done for. Just stuff like that. And like in this kind of game, like you can't go for solo pickoffs because like even if you kill somebody, they might just have like Legion Commander TP in with a Spearbreaker charging you the entire time, and you just eventually get chased down and die. So you kind of have to. You need your team. So like I always try to stay out of vision unless I'm with the team. Unless I'm pushing a wave, and that'll be super brief. Like it'll be like I said, you dark pack the wave and get out. Because if you stay in any one location for a certain amount of time, it makes it much easier to gank you in general. So that's just something easy to focus on. So it looks like you guys are wrapping around on this Legion Commander. I'm at 32 minutes. Oh, she blinks on your Lena.
That still works.
So let's see what happens. I can see this going badly. You ultied a little bit preemptively there. Okay.
I did it because my dark went in time for the bench.
Okay, so how do I explain this? Okay, you ended up winning the fight, but here's my comment. I'm gonna pause it. It's at 32:45. This is a big thing to ask yourself. Like a lot of people, when I see them ult on Slark, there's obviously a reason behind it. Like it's not just retarded, right? Like I'm not gonna say you're retarded. You're dodging a Venge stun. But like in a game against Troll, especially, which is gonna be 95% of your pub games, you have to save your ultimate for when you're going to be taking a lot of physical damage. You were like, right when you dodged that stun, you weren't like, you were going to get stunned, and then I think like a Legion Commander was right next to you, and you might have been like right-clicked by her like 4 or 5 times in the stun max, like maximum by a Legion Commander, and like the Troll Warlord hadn't even ultied yet, or I think he ultied for the Legion Commander duel. So either way, like, it's really good to try to match up your ultimate with a scenario where you're gonna die. Like you'll see me like hold on to my ultimate a lot, and it's like one of those where it's like you gotta acknowledge like, okay, so you saw Legion Commander duel already. The Venge stun. What else is there? There's a Lion. And like in that scenario, Troll was going on someone else. Legion was the only one next to you, and Legion really doesn't do all that much damage, like as a hero. Like, trust me, I know, I play her. She has her W, but other than that, she really doesn't do that much. So it's kind of one of those you just gotta acknowledge yourself. I'm not gonna be able to I'm not gonna die in this Venge stun, so I'm gonna tank this Venge stun. Like I don't care. I'm gonna save it, because then it just makes it so like, say for instance you tank the Venge stun, and then you might kill everybody without using your ultimate. Like that might end up being what happened. You might never use your ultimate, and all that means is you can push high ground because you have ultimate. You know, like that's like that's the difference. So really, like acknowledging when to hold it onto, and most importantly, it's not that you like have to beat yourself up or anything, or like be like I'm an idiot or whatever. You just have to know like, man, like after I use that ultimate, I really could have afforded to not use it. Like I didn't have to use it right there. You're also good at checking for wards. It's getting better. That was a little rusty at the start because you allowed yourself to get ganked. That's definitely something important, but. Now throughout the game, I've been noticing you pinging out wards, which is really good. That's something you definitely have to focus on as Slark. I'm really curious to see how you lose this game. I'm sure it's you throwing, no offense, because I've done it as Slark, and I've been in this scenario where if I lose, it's always my fault. So you guys are killing them. God, how do you guys lose this game? Okay. I'm just okay. I'm at the
for sure wins too.
yeah. I can see. Okay, so you're at the 34-minute mark. I mean, obviously I've played so much Slark. I've probably been in 30 to 40 games where I'm in this exact same scenario, where I'm up 2 racks. Okay, wait. I'm super fast forwarded, and it looks like there's gonna be a bad fight. I'm gonna rewind. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to when you guys are killing the racks. Okay, so you guys are killing the racks at 35. They're coming up in 12. So like that's how I guys know. At that point, I saw the Lion was coming up in 1 second and Legion Commander was coming up. I might have not even finished that range racks. I might have just ran because of the fact that they have like a spear. Like their chase potential is ridiculous. So it looks like you guys might turn here. Let's see if you guys turn around. Looks like your team just gets picked off. Okay. Not much you can do about that.
Yeah, we should have backed.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone for the range rack simply because of the timing, but that's one of those, like, as long as you know that and you do that in the future, then, like, trying to tell your team's one thing, but mostly important understanding for yourself, obviously, is the most important thing. So you're at 6.8k gold. It's one of those where you have 5,000 surplus gold. I would have made sure you bought a Basher the second you could have. Nice pounce at 36 minutes. That was a beautiful pounce. But yeah, like I can only say like I do it sometimes where it doesn't matter. But like in this kind of game, it definitely matters. So you just went straight Abyssal Blade, which is risky, because you don't have buyout against a lineup that has massive amounts of burst damage.
Thinking about that.
That's always to keep in mind. Like if you're way far behind, you can't afford to not buy out. That's just something you can't afford to do. But if you're in a situation where you're ahead like this, the only way you lose this game is if you die without buyout.
Yeah.
Which, let's see, there's a big fight going on, and you might die here. This is where you die, huh? I bet it is. Yep, you die here without buyout. Yep. And let's see what happens from it. I bet you lose at least 1 racks, unless your team manages to hold. Which they might. Let's see. Don't spoil it, no spoilers. But yeah, making sure you don't die without buyout is really important.
Wait, right there, I shouldn't have initiated, right?
Are you talking about the fight that they had no buyout that started that fight? Okay, I'm gonna go back and rewind.
Yeah.
I was mostly focused on the buyout. I'll check the fight. Sorry, for some reason I'm not sick anymore, but I'm still coughing. Okay. So let's see what happens. Oh, okay, wait. How did Batrider die is the question. What did I miss here? How did he die? Okay, so Batrider went in when when 2 of your teammates were dead. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. So you're looking to loop around behind them here. I'm at the 3650 mark right now. I'm seeing what you choose to do here. I didn't focus exactly on the initiation, so I'm gonna watch it here. Problem with Legion Commander is she's just one of those heroes that if you don't ultimate immediately, then you'll just get dueled like you saw. But her duel was down, so once again you used your ultimate. So like I'm gonna analyze your use of ultimate, which is really important here. What was happening to you right there that you used your ultimate? Like, if you look at it, just I'm not trying to be bash. I'm just like trying to be like hey, straight up, like, dude, why'd you ultimate? Like right here, nobody's just right clicking you at the 37 minute mark, right when you ultimate. Like nobody's right clicking you, and then what ends up happening? They use troll ulti, and like for the last 5 seconds of troll ulti, you're getting hit. Or like you're vulnerable, so you have to run away. You could have saved your ultimate at least another 2 or 3 seconds, and then you could have ended up fighting them, maybe stealing a couple more agi, and then getting away. Like you ended up getting really low from the troll ultimate after you re-engaged, and like that's just something. Pudge. That's just something like I can't emphasize. Like I can't emphasize enough. Like as Slark, like you can only use your ultimate when you have to, man. Like I'm not trying to bash you. I'm just trying to make sure you understand how important that is as a decision. Like that was a fine fight. Like that was perfectly fine. You had your ultimate. Like it was a little risky without buyout, but you knew duel was down, so that makes it okay because they have no unpurgeable stuns. But then you put yourself in a scenario where you popped your ultimate when you weren't gonna die. And then you were potentially gonna die, that's what I mean. You're full HP. That's also another thing. I mean, that's not even something I was worrying about. But you were full HP, and like part of your ultimate is the fact that it regens you. So using your ultimate in the point where you're full HP, there's very rare scenarios where I use my ultimate at full HP. The rare scenarios are If I'm going on a Bloodseeker and I don't want to get ruptured before I get away, or I'm going on a Doombringer and I don't want to get doomed. Or I'm going on a Legion Commander, but she also didn't have duel there. So I don't know if you didn't know that, but at the same time, it's one of those that like you still weren't in a scenario that you were exactly going to die. And Legion Commander wasn't right on top of you, so like it's one of those if you were like hitting the Legion, I'd be like, okay, maybe you thought she had duel. That's fine. But your team ends up like swagging on them, so that's pretty cool. You hold the Rex. So let's see. That's just a big one that could cost you the game, because you bought out, especially. So now you're going to the Roche pit. You take Roche, which is really good when you do that buyout. I'm glad you didn't buy BKB. It's a horrible BKB game. Why? Okay, I need to fix this. I keep forgetting that you can use the minus sign to slow down the game. Okay, so you guys are pushing bottom tower here. Batrider initiates. You haven't used your ultimate yet. That's good. You actually hold on to your ultimate there. And then you popped your ultimate to get fingered. Oh god. Oh god. I'm watching this. Okay. Okay, I'm always interested. I'm gonna super slow-mo this fight and just see how everything went wrong here. So what were you doing that fight that was inefficient? That's like something I try to like. I'm gonna be super nitpicky on you here. Okay, so your Batrider pulls in the troll. So you went on top of a blink of a Lion Impale.
Yeah.
And then you get stunned by Spearbreaker. So you're basically perma-stunned this entire time. Legion Commander dueled the Lina in the back, so she didn't do anything. And you popped. Oh man, that's so unfortunate. I mean, honestly, when you have an Aegis. Okay, so first off, your team shouldn't have dove. But yeah, if you have an Aegis and you're about to die, and you're in a scenario where you're gonna need your ultimate to get out, I always hold it. Because like if I have like 20 stacks of Agi already, and I'm like, oh man, I really want to preserve these Agi stacks, it's different. But you only had about, if I had to guess, about 5 or 6.
Yeah. And
it's one of those where like it really sucked. I mean, you can't really calculate like, God, I fucking ultied when the lion fingered me and I died immediately and my ultimate was useless. Okay. So the biggest thing about it though is that as Slark, when they have heroes like Lion, okay, so I'm actually gonna see I'm gonna see when you Dark Packed to see how you got hit by this Lion Impale, because it is really important to Dark Pack the original stuns. I'm actually gonna be like super nitpicky on you here, because these are you said like late game decision making. So you pacted preemptively. So here's my question. I hate to. I'm gonna be super nitpicky on you here. At the 40th minute mark, why did you TP? Why did you Dark Pact right there? Were you planning on the creep wave spawning or what? Like you just did a random Dark Pact at the tower.
I think just instinctively when I saw Batrider go in, I just instinctively used it.
Okay, so that's one of those things where if you use Dark Pact, which like honestly, if you're spamming Dark Pact while you're hitting a tower, that's like kind of okay. Like that's like one of those things. Like, but what you have to understand is as a Slark player.
Oh yeah, I think that's what I was doing. I thought we were just hitting the tower.
Yeah, just hitting the tower and just like using it as a yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and that's like totally fine. That's what I was trying to say. Like the idea behind it is fine. What you did there was fine. What you did afterwards is completely wrong. So what you did was you used Dark Pact. What you have to acknowledge is when you Dark Pact, for the next 4 seconds, you are now vulnerable. You are now a shitty hero. Like
I didn't have jumped in.
Yeah, and you ended up going straight in after the Dark Pact. What you should have done, especially after your team goes straight in on the side, it's like you have to acknowledge, like, okay, there's a Spearbreaker. If he charges in a straight line, he's going to stun everybody in a straight line. There's a Lion who's going to impale in a straight line. And that's like, I know that's like a super in-game thing to think about, but it's one of those where it's not as much in the straight line aspect as, like, does the enemy team have AoE? If my team goes in and I group up with them, can we be punished for that? And I just had, and I think about that every game, like whether or not I can do that. So like, if you had taken the route where right when you Dark Pacted, you had gone like the upper route around the tower, like upper, like through the middle of the barracks and come in on the fight on the side, like maybe you still would have gotten stunned by Lion, but you wouldn't have gotten impaled and you would have had to like blow Hex on you or whatever. Like you got impaled immediately, and then what do you know? Because you missed one Dark Pact, trust me, I've been here, done this. You missed one Dark Pact, you went from getting, okay, so you went Lion impaled into a Spearbreaker charge, into a Spearbreaker ulti, and then you sit there fighting for like about a second and a half, use your ultimate and die. Okay, so like that's what happens though. Like, and that's the problem with Slark is people like think he's OP and he's strong and all, in pubs especially. But if you fuck up your Dark Pact one time, especially against in the meta with Troll Warlord, where like they do so much physical damage that you're just gonna die. That's the thing. So like doing what you did was right, but you just have to acknowledge like you'll see me sometimes as like especially as like PL with my doppelganger. If I have it down, or as Slark with my Dark Pact, I'll like weave around the outside of the fight until I can move Dark Pact again. And like sorry, go ahead if you have a question. I've been talking about it.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah, it's just one of those like, yeah, you went straight in right after the Dark Pact, and that's a big mistake, and obviously you got punished for it. Like, it's one of those that like, go ahead.
It was the idea for me to back since I didn't Dark Pact, and since I was back and Legion Commander jumps in on my Legion, I wish I wanted a Legion Commander.
Yeah, it's
just go on Legion Commander. Right?
Yeah, it would have been fine honestly in that scenario to even wait like in the like it. I can tell you that if your team goes in and you have Dark Pact off, like you don't have Dark Pact available, it is actually to your team's advantage and yours to wait to Dark Pact's off cooldown. like if your team goes in and like it's one of those that you can't force it with your team. You have to play your own. Like obviously like you have to coordinate or whatever, but you have to play your own game as like a hero like Slark in terms of the fact that like if they call to go in on somebody and like all your abilities except for your ultimate, which is pretty obvious, like if you're on a team aspect you can communicate like, hey, my ultimate's on 20-second cooldown. Like it's still a pretty short cooldown, but like Dark Pact and Leash, right, like they're 6 seconds and 8 seconds respectively. Like if like in the middle of a fight you can't call out like, hey, my Dark Pact's on cooldown for 3 seconds, right? Like you're not going to be able to say that. So like my point is like you kind of play your own game in terms of the fact that like you know somebody, you know your team's fighting, and even though they're going on them right now, you have to wait on your own cooldowns. Like you just have to. That's just a big deal.
Yeah.
So like you said, like if you had been waiting back, like you said, which would have been like honestly, that would have been a decent approach too. Like that would have actually been okay because you're like, hey, I'm like, it's one of those you've got to be safe rather than sorry, especially in a game where you don't have buyback. So like you could have sat back, and the Legion Commander goes on your Lina in the back, and you would have fought the Legion Commander while she's dueling your Lina and probably killed her eventually. And it's one of those, like, in a game like this, it's really tough for you as Slark, because if you're not heavy on the Agi stacks, then you're not going to do enough damage to kill, like, because they're Legion Commander, Troll Warlord, and Spiritbreaker, just like 3 really tanky cores. So you got to set yourself up somehow. So if you go straight into the middle of the fight, then you're going to have no way to set up getting your Agi stacks, because, I can tell you, like, if you see a lot of my fights, I start the fight off by going on somebody on the outskirts and getting, like, 5 or 6 Agi stacks, and, like, that just makes all the difference, like, in terms of, like, your ability to snowball. It's a snowballing ability, you know, like, the more you have, the faster you attack, and the faster you attack, the more you get. So that's just a big thing that happened down there. So I saw that you guys managed to hold them the death push here. They did take 1 set of racks. I don't know what happened with that pounce. Really weird things that sometimes happen with changing direction, but I don't really worry about small like executional errors. I worry about why like people harp on me, like people bash streamers a lot, like not just myself, when they do like a little executional error that just makes them look like an idiot. Like when I missed my ulti as Queen of Pain today, like it was hilarious. I just completely missed a point blank ulti on somebody, and it's like sure, I look like garbage, but that's not the stuff you want to focus on. Like, hey, like, is there anything I can tell myself to make sure next time I don't miss my Queen of Pain ulti? No. But is there something I can tell myself next time to make sure I don't go into a fight without Dark Pact? Yeah, like that's something you can identifiably like not do again. So when Legion Commander bopped back, definitely okay. You did a good thing there. You Dark Pacted and then had walked away. Then you went into the fight. Let's see what happens here. You went on the Lion, the guy that stuns. And then you popped your ultimate, and you just that's what I'm talking about in this kind of game.
Yeah,
okay, and then you
I don't
pop,
know.
get out.
Panic ult.
No, that ultimate was fine. Like that was fine. You had to do it. I'm saying like you use your ultimate, but like there's no way for you to easily get a bunch of Agi stacks. And that's the problem is like you have to Shadow Blade and like get on top of somebody, and like that's why Refresher's so good, is because in a scenario like this, say you hadn't died a couple times and you like had managed to get to your next item of a refresher, it allows you to do exactly what you've been doing, get like 6 or 7 agi stacks, and then still be able to fight because you still have your ultimate. Like that's basically what refresher does. And so like people don't understand that refresher basically gives you like 7 or 8 essence shift stacks on top of the fact that you get a second ultimate. But okay, let's see what's gonna happen here. Do you still not have buyback? Yeah, you still don't have buyback, but you're really close. So they're taking your base. I'm guessing they just end here. It's one of those that you had buyback the whole time, or like you were really close to buyback. You probably just had to go on them. You waited a little bit too long, and now they're just gonna hit your base. They're just gonna hit your.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they're just gonna kill your fountain.
It's actually really close.
Oh man, it is, and that's one of those things. Like straight up, like the decision making wise, there, like. Because they have a troll warlord, like that, like trust me, like right now in the meta, you just have to play around the fact that everything's different with a troll warlord, and that's why he's so ridiculously good. In my maps glitching out, but like you were like sure your teammates are dead, but like you have to ask yourself, are my teammates going to be alive before this game's over? Like if I wait for them to be up, is the game not going to be over? And it's like they're up in 20, so your axe buys back. First off, why was your axe holding buyback? That makes me want to vomit. Secondly, like. You just have to go in. Like, it's one of those, you have no choice. You waited too long. You put yourself in a scenario where, like, okay, we kill them all, but, like, you know, the lion barely finishes off your fountain. Like, obviously you can't calculate, like, the fact that it's going to take one last lion hit before your throne dies. Like, obviously that's not something I'm like, hey, man, don't you know that? Like, duh. It's one of those, like, you just have to know, like, my team's not going to be alive. First, your axe should have bought back, but that's not something you can change. Like, he bought back, like, after they've already been hitting your base for, like, 10 seconds. The biggest thing for you is, like, you just got to go in, even if it just means using your ultimate to distract them, and, like, that's one of those, I check my gold. I'm 148 gold from buyback, right? Like, that's what you have to know. Yeah. I'm 148 gold from buyback. If I can just get a kill before I die, then I'm back. Like, I'm in it. Like, we're good. So, like, I just got to set myself up in a scenario where I can kill one of them, and then I don't care if I die. Yeah. And then I'm going to come back and buy back and immediately fight. Because, like, obviously, like, if you lose the throne, you lose the game. So, like, you just got to, like, do whatever the fuck it takes to save your throne. So, in that scenario, that's how I would approach it. And you just waited a little bit too long. And, like, you talked about the decision-making. Like, I try to tell people, man, what makes Slark not OP in my mind is that he is so unforgiving. You know, like, in terms of, like, if you're snowballing, you just win the game. Obviously, if you have like 30 stacks of agi, you're just gonna kill everybody. But like in that kind of game, you had one bad leap in without your Dark Pact, and then like one like kind of like mistaking ulti. You know, like obviously you had a bad start to the game, but you guys made a good comeback. But like the one missed Dark Pact like cost you the game. Like basically, like in terms of like you did nothing in that fight, you got ulted. You like during your ultimate you got fingered. Like that's really weird interaction. I would almost think that would disjoint, but I guess not. I've never seen that. I've never actually had that happen to me, so congratulations on that one. But yeah, so the big thing I would like you to focus on as a Slark player in fights is like working around like is like something to think about, and it's something that you every time you do it or like you die, like to acknowledge why you died. So like in that scenario, it's like I didn't have Dark Pact up and I went in. And it's that simple. Like, it's that simple. I didn't have Dark Pact up and I went into a team that can stun me. And then it's like, some people ask me, like, why didn't you pounce the guy to kill him? And it's like, one of the biggest things as Slark to focus on is, like, if I pounce this guy, what are the odds I'm going to die afterwards? Like, in terms of, like, not if I pounce this guy. If I don't have pounce, what is the other team's chances of killing me? So, like if I'm going on a support in the back, sometimes I won't even pounce them because I know if there's a troll warlord near me or like a storm spirit that I really want to use my pounce to get away. You know, like, so that's a big thing. Like, you use your pounce to go in when your Dark Pact was off cooldown or on cooldown. So, like, I hate to say it, like, that's like the perfect storm of kill me now. Like, I'm just like I'm using my escape mechanism to leap in without having my disabling of stuns. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah. That's just a big thing. That's a big decision. Do you have any questions? That's like the biggest thing I have now. Do you have any questions?
Well, that's pretty good, but yeah, that's pretty good. But do you have any? I don't know how to say tip. I guess not focusing on Slark just as a player in general. For me.
Yeah, okay.
Like my weaknesses as a player.
Yeah, one of the weaknesses as a
I could
player,
focus on.
was in the lane, like, okay, so first off, like, I know it's something I've harped on, I'm just gonna harp on it again, was the CS missing, and that's a big thing, like, putting yourself in a situation to get the CS, that was one of the biggest things, and as other heroes, like, I know I already mentioned it, and it's like a lot of these concepts apply universally. They just like are accomplished differently on different heroes. So like on Slark, for instance, like you want to be out of vision all the time, or like you want to be engaging on fights with your Dark Pact off cooldown or whatever. Like on other heroes, that's the same concept. Like if you're PL with a doppelganger, it's like you got to make sure you don't use your doppelganger to get in. And in a position where you're going to be vulnerable. Like you can only use it if you know you're not going to be vulnerable. But like when you're top lane and you got and you saw the Legion Commander coming and you got ganked, like that's just one of those things. Like if you see her coming, then it's like it's hard to explain, but it's your positioning was just so slightly off where you went up for a creep camp, or like you went up for a creep right as like the lion was walking towards you, like so like because you went up for that creep, you put yourself in a scenario to be ganked. Like so like it's one of those where you see a lion top, like I know you saw the lion, and it's one of those where you know you're constantly at threat. So when it's like that, you'll like I'll tell people like when I'm talking about it on stream, I'll be like, man, I know I'm in danger right now if something goes like if I get stunned for 2 seconds, I might just die. And it's one of those that if you go, so you might just not go for those last hits. So like choosing not to go for certain last hits is really important. And like at that point in time, also like as any other hero, it's like it's acknowledging on the map where everyone is. So like if mid was missing, which like obviously since she was top, she was missing. If mid's missing, then like you just gotta sit back. Like you just gotta accept like, hey, I'm gonna go do a jungle camp, or like I'm gonna go do something else. Like sure, that game they had a ward behind your tower, so it would have probably got you killed anyway. But acknowledging like where the rest of the team is, like I'm not always the best at it, especially on stream because I'm like too busy trying to talk to people. But like I'll be like, hey, I'm pushing this tower because I see 3 people bottom or something like that. And it's like for you didn't see anybody mid, and you know with the Spear Breaker, like as any carry, your job, like I think what you had a poor judgment on this game was gauging when you were like what the threat level of the enemy team. So like when you popped your ultimate, you weren't in danger because they weren't trollting and there's no right clicker on top of you at the time. And then when you were top and you saw nobody mid, you still win for the CS. Like that's just one of those things that like really gauging like every team you're looking at, and as a carry, like that's why I say only stick to 5 to 10 heroes. Like when people ask me, do you play this? It's like if you play more than 5 to 10 heroes, it's really hard to keep track of all the matchups. But like since I've played Slark and all my favorite heroes so many times, I'm like, yeah, these particular heroes can do this to me. Like, and I know how every other hero interacts with them, and that's really important to know. Like to gauge, like at the beginning of the game, like what is their aggression level? Can I get away with a Midas? And like the thing I just noticed with you is like really the misjudgment of threats to you, and that's just something that obviously applies to all carries. So like especially like when I also mentioned like using your Dark Pact to clear the wave as a carry, like if you're stationary, it's so much easier to gank you. So like one thing you kind of did was you did kind of stay stationary in your lane, and you want to be like transitioning between jungle and lane. If you see them kind of missing off the map and they're fading top, then you go back to their jungle. Like at sometimes in the game, it's better to go to theirs. So it's kind of like that's the best advice I can give in terms of all other carries. That's like judging the threat level. Ask yourself at the beginning of every game what you think, or tell yourself what you think will happen. And what ends up happening. Like in terms when I say what will think will happen, like most games I go into, I'll be like, wow, that enemy team like looks like they'll peak in like 15 minutes, and at that point I'll need to be ready to fight, or at least be independent enough to survive ganks. So like I'll build items like this. That's something you really want to ask yourself, and like I'm saying that to you not because like I'm saying that to you because that's something that's assessing threat level, and I think that was your biggest issue. Let me see. Any other questions before we go? It's been about an hour. I just have another guy that's waiting. I apologize. I hope this helped. I've never. This is actually my first coaching session with replay analysis. I've obviously analyzed replays with people before, but never for coaching. So that's my biggest advice, honestly, on that one. But yeah, and like I've said, I mean, I'm on stream anyways. Doesn't matter. But if because I've coached you and anything, if you ever have a question, like feel free to ask me. Like just message me and ask me
Okay.
about anything. But that's the biggest thing. Like when you say if you lose those kind of games, like it just comes down to small decision making at the end of the game. And like as a hero, like every hero I play tends to have like an escape mechanism. So like if you play it that way, you just got to use your escape mechanism in a scenario where you know, like you got to put yourself only in danger when you know you can escape out of it, kind of thing. Or like
Okay.
go into a scenario that if it were to become dangerous, that you could get out. And Spearbreaker makes that tough as Slark, just because if you're losing the fight, there's no such thing as running away, or as any hero. So, but yeah, I appreciate it, man. Let me know
Yeah,
if you have any questions in the future, and I'll certainly talk to you later. So, have a good night, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem, man. Peace. Okay, so now I got my second. Sorry about that, guys. Got one more stream coaching. Anal powder coaching session. Yeah, we're Summer's Rift, and we're playing in the DreamHack Open League this weekend, or DreamHack Open qualifiers this weekend, and then we're playing in Red Bull Land and a couple other qualifiers. So I'm gonna go ahead. I have one more student, guys. But go ahead and message him. This one's going to be a live coaching session. That is my first time actually doing a replay analysis, so I hope he was satisfied. I tried to point out several things. It's harder to like, and obviously in game I can like draw exactly on the map things I want him to do. My question for you people on the stream is like, apparently there was trouble earlier, but can you hear him? Can you actually hear the person I was talking to, or was he too quiet for you guys? I'm gonna see what you guys tell me. Obviously, it's on a delay here. There's nothing. If you're a Brood player, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, you could hear him. Okay, cool. I mean, his mic was low. It was his mic a bit, but like last time I had it, where like, I could hear the person like super loud, and like the stream couldn't hear him at all. So that's fine. What's up, man?
Hello.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Okay, so you're looking to do a live game, right? Like I'm just confirming.
Yep.
Okay, I'll invite you to my party. What server are you on?
Yes.
US West? Why is it... Okay, am I having issues with Steam Check? Can you hear me?
I can just...
Okay, obviously... Maybe it's because I'm on stream. Okay. Here, I'm going to do this, man. You're, like, really quiet for me. Or not really quiet, you're, like, skipping. Let's see. Just try saying something. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just making sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're skipping out for me. Okay.
Audio call.
Why is it so skippy? That's so weird. Do you mind Skyping? I can hardly hear you. Sorry, just type it to me, man. I actually can't hear you. Sorry. Skyping is fine. Okay, sorry guys, 1 second. It might be your mic. The other guy was a bit laggy too. Okay, we'll try Skype, and if it doesn't work, then we'll use this. So my username is just Banana Slam Jam on Skype. If you wanna, shit, man, everyone's gonna add me now. But yeah, if you wanna go ahead and add me on Skype, we can get this going. Oh, yeah, share screen and Skype. You can see where you are in the replay. Oh, that's good advice. I might do that. Steam voice is worse than poop in the eye. That's what people are saying, man. Did you add me? Shit, man, I'm gonna get added so much. Yes, Sam Turner. Okay, sick. Got it. I'm gonna Skype call you here. Get rid of this. Okay, Steam chat is done. Hello? Say something else? Sick. Okay, it's better. It's better. Okay. The only problem is last time I used Skype, it was hard for other people to hear the person on Skype. So hopefully they can hear you, but I think it's much more important that I can hear you. So, but yeah, I can hear you. So we're gonna go ahead and queue up for the game just because we can talk during the queue. So what are you looking to work on here? Like what? Okay, cool. You are okay. Sweet. So, if you, what hero are you gonna play? Or okay. For me, like, if you're talking about game situation, then we can analyze that in game. Otherwise, I can give you advice on any carry. So, you can't hear him. Okay, people said they can't hear him. So I am going to try something here. I'm going to add. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna add something on my. Here we go. Window capture. Let's see. So that should be it. I don't want the Skype to be moved to the bottom. Okay. Can you sound test for me again? I can hear you just fine. I'm trying to check for stream. Yeah, sorry. Like you're fine with what you're doing. I'm just trying to check for stream. Let's see. I want them to be able to hear you too. That's obviously important. Let's see if I move to top and then minimize. Nope. That still doesn't work. Damn, dude. Okay. This is obviously in beta, guys. Still testing my stream. It's really weird. Still hearing nothing. Damn it. Okay. We're gonna worry about you, and obviously the stream was a bonus, so if people want to tune out, that's fine. Okay, so you there? Okay, cool. Yeah, just try to secure safe lane carry for yourself. We'll just we'll see what we got in the game here. If you ask any questions, I'll try to repeat them for the stream's sake. But other than that, we'll you might want to just go ahead and pick. Honestly, PL is a fine pick against those heroes if you want to pick PL. I only say that because like if you don't pick now, then that orange guy might pick a carry, and then you're, you know, kind of. I'm not gonna lie. I've watched some seriously funny shit on my coaching sessions. Like I had one guy get like supported by a pudge who was stealing his last hits. It's pretty hilarious. But either way, there's like I've been here enough. It can still be worked on pretty well. First thing is starting items. In this kind of, I've adjusted my starting items on a lot of my heroes. In this kind of game, you're probably against a Lich. Like I look at what the other team's gonna have in my lane, right? So you're against a Lich, and that's probably it. So you can probably do like the whole Tango, Stout Shield, Ring of Protection, and a Clarity. I like the Clarity because it allows you to be aggressive with your Lance and then Clarity up. If you were just say you were against like some dual lane, obviously that you're like, hey shit, I'm against a dual lane. I'm not gonna have the easiest time. I would buy like 2 Tangos, a Stout, and a Salve. That's really how I gauge my starting items. So the first thing to do as every carry every game is to run as far out here as possible. You want to run out there. That's for several reasons. That is to check for rewards that a person might be placing over here. Can you see on the minimap? Sometimes it's buggy. Okay, so to see if they're placing wards over here, and also for the sake of the fact that you want to make sure that you kind of have a gauge of who's going to be at the rune, like bottom. It's just good to get out there as soon as possible. Usually your team will like want to come help you get the rune. It looks like they might be aggro tri-laning? Question mark? Yeah, you're actually solo bottom. If I had known that, I would have told you to get two tangos and a stout shield and a salve. You want to make sure you're at the rune though. You want to make sure you're at least seeing the rune. It's really important to be in a position where, like, if you see nobody there, that you'll get the rune. You know what I mean? Because, like, sometimes, like, you know, like, your team is obviously not there to help you, but, well, like, you'll see, like, a 4-on-4 engagement at top rune. And with the new change to bounty runes, or, like, I don't even know if it's new anymore, but, like, you know, the 100 XP to the minute 0, it's really important that like, if you're against if you're solo v solo, if he gets it, you're in a really bad spot, in my opinion. Like, if I'm in a solo v solo lane, I think it's, like, game winning for me to get that bounty rune. But so yeah, it's always important to, like, make sure, like, if say at the 10-second mark you want to be, like, right here, and so that, like, you can see who's there, and then at the 5-second mark you want to be, like, on the lower cliff, and then at the obviously you want to be able to get the rune. So you're just setting yourself up, and that's really, and, like, that's like a really little thing that a lot of people don't do properly. So it's really important. It's also, like, if you walk out early, then, like, you'll see if they rotate, like, this way, and, like, you'll run into them early on, and you always want to make sure you're, like, in a place where they can't kill you, I guess. And it's good that you hold your skill. Because this is a low game, it might not be that anybody's at the rune. Nice, dude. Sick. Free rune. And yeah, I'd always walk back this way. Yeah, always walk back that way. So if Slark's off lane, then who... You might be against a Lich Slark. It's going to be interesting. Looks like you got a Lion coming bottom, though. So it's a Nyx mid. I bet it's a Lich Slark. Yeah, Lich Slark. It's going to be a rough lane. In this kind of lane, I would actually... probably... depending how it goes, this is a lane where I'd debate investing in on a Ring of Regen. The 2 HP regen. Don't worry about it, man. So, the good thing to do in this kind of lane is to abuse creep aggro. So, like, to A-click the Lich to drive the creeps towards you. So he's just going to keep sacrificing. Yeah, so, like, deny... There you go. That's fine. So, like, this is definitely going to be a lane where you're going to want to invest in a Ring of Regen, though. It's one of those where, like, you're going to get constantly nuked down by this Lich if he's any good.
Needs the first blood in.
So in terms of last hitting, it's really good to just make sure you're in a spot to get the last hit. And PL in particular, you have to treat him like he's like a 50 damage hero because his damage range is so high. His damage range is 54 to 76. So, like, that one last hit you missed is probably because you rolled really low. But yeah, so to make sure you get the last hits, like last thing as a carry, like, that's one of those things that like, if you gotta make, like, in that scenario, the fact that you backed up and then got slowed made it so you weren't in a position to get that last hit. Like, it's really important. Like, I can't say it enough that you have to be in a spot to get the last hit. Like, it's one thing to worry about missing the last hits, but the last hits that are, like, the most crippling for people that are still learning are the ones that they're not even, like, able to get. And that's also worth lancing creeps for last hits, especially because you have a clarity. Yeah, I would. I actually would. I would just go ahead and buy it now. It's one of those where I ask myself, do I think I'll kill them with boots? And my answer is no. And so I would buy a Ring of Regen. So one of the biggest things on PL is I usually level my passive at level 2. It's really good for being aggressive. This Lion's helping you miss CS. And you're full mana, so go ahead and lance that guy. Like, there's no point in being full mana. And say you had passive right there, you would have gotten on top of him right away and actually probably gotten a kill right there. That's why your doppelganger is really not an offensive ability early on. So, like, in lane, unless you're, like, concerned about dying, then you definitely want to have a point in your passive because that's what allows you to have kill potential. So, like, unless you're against, like, a tri-lane, you know, like, if you're against a tri-lane with stuns, yeah, you want to have your W skilled. But if you're against a lane where you could potentially be aggressive at the right time, then your passive is better. And that goes with, like, a lot of heroes that have abilities that do both things. Yeah, you're going to get your passive at level 4. You always go 2-1-1. Like, either way, you're going to get your, like, whatever one you didn't level, you're going to get at level 4. That's like that's an always. So you're gonna go and you can't buy boots yet, so you're gonna have to go Bassy because if you bought boots, it would make your tranquils. So that's something you just have to keep in mind when you go Ring of Health. So go ahead and buy the Bassy. Oh no, yeah, go on him. Yeah, go on him when you see. Like, say you had the passive right there. Like, imagine if you had your passive. Now you don't have, yeah, oh, are you actually gonna get him? Get him! But yeah, if you had your passive right there on that lich, right, you would have killed him, like 100%. Go ahead and clarity up and clarity tango, all that good stuff. You want to make sure you are mana'd enough to fight next time, and you know the lich has to go back to base, so you're not gonna get your clarity popped. But yeah, so that's like a big thing. It's a little mistake that like I don't know, like maybe if I wasn't here, you'd be like, maybe I wish I'd leveled my passive, but that's something that's really important to be like, oh, I should have leveled, and like with every hero, because then you're like, next time you'll be like, shit, I'll level this differently because of that. It's so you're gonna go and buy boots. That's good.
Missing was a little late.
Wait, Slark just ganked mid? Yeah, your guy had a ward, so let's just ignore him. But yeah, now you're like full mana again after that long engagement. That's what a clarity. That's the power of a clarity. Your lion is not much to say about that. Could be worse. Could be a pudge that's just this guy's basically auto attacking. People ask me on stream what you can do about auto attacking supports. Nothing. So when you're full mana like this, I always recommend like throwing out a lance on the Slark. Like if he pops into lane, it's really important to just like if you're not using mana, then it's kind of like you're wasting it because you would have been regenning the mana otherwise. So that's really important as a carry, like especially if you're using your mana and you can put the Slark down to like 2/3 HP constantly, then like his chances of going on you ever are like much lower, and that applies to like every offlaner. Like obviously I don't think Slark's an offlaner, but like if he's at 2/3 HP and they try to go on you, the odds are like because you put him lower, he'll be killable instead of killing you. But like obviously right now you have no desire to like lance because if you want to like hold two, I always like say I kind of want to hold 2 lances for being aggressive on a kill, because like on that first kill when you missed it on the lich, if you had your passive, you would have like caught up to him with your passive and then used your second lance to kill him. Like the second lance is usually what gets the kill. So like honestly I would go Midas here. I'd go straight Midas. You're gonna have a late Midas because, like, let's be honest, you've missed a lot of CS. But that's fine. I want the item builds to be the same for you, and then I want you to get them down. Do you know what I mean? Like get the times that you're getting everything lower, and understand like what you'll start feeling is the effectiveness of being quicker at certain items. That's why I try to give a time range for people. It's like as long as you're not getting crushed in lane, it's still just best to go the same items, and then you can work on improving your timings. Because if you're changing up your item builds based on the fact that you're not CSing perfectly, then
Stone him.
Oh, you can probably. I was going to say you can probably kill that lich. I wouldn't focus on the Slark at all. Yeah, the thing. Okay, in this kind of lane, you might want to use your W. I would just get out. Use a tango. You might be able to turn with a lance though if he goes on your line. Okay, so in this scenario, like,
and now I'm just wasting.
You might actually get that.
So, here we go.
Get him! Oh my god. Okay, so in a lane like this, you have to focus on understanding who's the vulnerable target. That lich has like no health and like no armor, and the Slark like has an escape mechanism. While like I'm acknowledging, obviously these guys are not like 7K players or anything, but like you used your stuff on the Slark when you probably could have just gone on the lich at any time. It's one of those like if I was coordinating with one of my teammates, I would have said like let's go on lich, like just ignore Slark, like what's he gonna do, kind of thing. So just identifying vulnerable targets as a carry is really important. Like the Slark almost died there, but it was one of those where like I'm pretty sure lich Lich almost died and you hardly touched him at all. You know what I mean? Like you hardly did anything to the Lich and he almost died. So imagine if you had like put all your attention on him.
Missing.
So right now, yeah, I would hold my lance because I want to make sure I have one for a kill. Obviously your timing is going to be even slower because of the fact that there's a Lich and a Lion that's hitting. Not much you can do about that though. Let's not focus on that. I still like the Midas on Peel. I'm a firm believer that it is the best item to go. Make sure you tango up, I'd say. You want to be careful about not being burstable by their nukes. Yeah, just treat Ryan as a creep. There you go. That's perfect. Just treat him as a creep and try to last it around him. He's been pretty consistent about auto-attacking, so... and then when you get to 6, I always emphasize to hold your skill point, because if you use your skill point, then the lane will just push on its own, and you don't need it really. Like your ultimate is good for jungling and like hard like team fight, I guess you could say, like prolonged fights, so that you're spawning a bunch of illusions. But in lane, all it does is push the lane. So I always hold my skill point, but I also like want it to be available if I need it. So I don't like skill something else as well. You're almost to your Midas here,
Easy. Returned.
or to your Midas recipe. Sweet, man. This lion's at least auto-attacking for you. So in this scenario, you're not going to be getting really... Okay, so I'd go ahead and lance for that creep. I'd lance for that if you're not going to go for it. It's one of those where I would sit back as, like... Oh! Oh! Lance! Lance! Got him. Okay, I'd run to the left. Yeah, run left, left, left. Buy your glove... Okay, oh yeah, you might actually just juke him that way. Shit. Buy your glove of haste. Buy it. Buy glove of haste. Okay. It's fine. You might actually make it out, but just in case. Be careful with the courier. That's all I can say to you about that. Oh, regen! Sick, dude. Based. Okay. But it's one of those where if you had perfect like handle of that, you would have bought the glove of haste, realized you were getting out, and then sold it. You can go ahead and just blink up the hill. There you go. Nice. I did not know that Slark had a bottle. So yeah, just fly the glove of haste out ASAP.
Be careful.
Dodge the pounce. Oh, just man up on him. Man up on him. Man up. There you go. Yeah, he didn't have ulti, so I would just go ahead and head back into the jungle. Like, you don't want to be in lane with the Lich, so just head back towards the jungle. Go Midas a big creep, because you're low, like you don't want to be in lane. It doesn't help to just sit there. So I'd go ahead and go Midas a big creep. You go ahead and level your ultimate because you're gonna be in the jungle past now. Use your lance. You're gonna be going back to base anyway because you're low health. Go ahead and use your lance, and then go like towards the left, towards these camps over here. Like you kind of like you're just making it so you're not wasting the walking time back to base. You know what I mean? So like even though you're going back to base, the amount of walking time is really just the amount of from here to here because you would have been farming these camps normally anyway. No, I always go stats here. I think the extra bit of tankiness is best at this point in the game. Yeah, stats. You want to go stats until level like 11. You level your second point in ulti, and then after that you'll go maxing your doppelganger, and then you'll max your passive after that. So usually you're gonna want to try to dodge the stun when you spawn an illusion, but you're never gonna spawn one. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and lance again. Just make sure you don't die. So you're gonna go ahead and go back to base after you finish this. Perfect. And so in the items this game, go ahead and walk back to base. Yeah, it's important to take the shortest path possible. Go ahead and finish your Ring of Aquila. Buy a Quelling Blade. Sell the Stout Shield. You don't need it anymore. And then, actually, I hate to say it, the Ring of Regen did its part. Like, go ahead and sell that too. So go ahead and get that. And then buy the Robe of the Magi as part of your Diffusal Blade. And then TP mid. Yeah, TP mid. There's nobody farming it. That's why you're going to TP here. It's one of those where as a carry, it doesn't matter where you're farming. You just want to go to the lane that's the safest or nobody else is farming it. Like, say somebody else farming mid, then obviously you're not going to TP there, but nobody else is. So, okay, so make sure you're Midasing a creep. I never Midas the range creep, so yeah, just keep in mind that your Midas is off cooldown. Yeah, go ahead and Midas a melee creep. No, melee. Always Midas the melee, because the range creeps give more gold by default and less XP. So, like, you're doubling less XP, and then you're getting more gold. Like, you would have gotten more gold normally. Yeah, W. Yeah, you're out. The only thing about that is you took a lot of unnecessary harass, so that you're punished and you're at, like, half HP now. What you could have done is the minute you saw him TPing in, you could have just left, or you could have just, like, lanced him and left. At this point, there's no reason in sitting here. You're waiting for the creeps. Like, that's kind of like, now it's good to farm these creeps. Like, now that they're there, you want to farm them. What I'm saying is, like, that whole time, the last, like, 20 seconds you were just sitting here, you should have been hitting these right here. Does that make sense? Like, because, like, if you know, like, hey, I'm going to have to wait until these, yeah, go ahead and just W out. Just W. You want to get rid of that shit. But, yeah, go ahead and just go right here. Like, you just, before you go back to base, like, no reason to go back to base for no reason. And I just said no reason twice. You're gonna be going back to base, so go ahead and lance. Like, use all your freaking mana. No reason to. And then back your hero up so that you don't tank. Yeah, and then go back in. Yeah, there you go. You can do that, or you can A-click your own illusions. Go ahead and go back to base now because you're super low.
X is missing.
Usually, I don't require that you buy regen items because you should just not be tanking that unnecessary harass that you took mid. But if you are tanking the harass that you're tanking like this game, I'd go ahead and buy a bottle. I highly recommend not buying a bottle because it's one of those where you should probably learn how to, like, there's some games where it's unavoidable. If there's like a Zeus spamming my lane all game, obviously I need to buy a bottle. There's no way to avoid it. But that harass you took from Silencer was avoidable. So we're gonna stick to not buying a bottle this game. So go ahead and TP back to tier 2 mid. So because your Midas is off cooldown, you're gonna go and head towards
X
the
is
big
still
camp.
missing.
And then the big thing in the jungle is that you have a Quelling Blade because it helps you speed up your jungle. And then your W is good for tanking. So like right now, always A-click your own illusions so that you're not tanking. And then W towards this camp. No reason to walk through the trees. But yeah, if you're getting hit by creeps, if you just like A-click your own illusion, it'll change the aggro of the creeps so that they're no longer hitting you anymore. Go ahead and do the big camp right here. But yeah, it'll change the creep aggro. Like, the whole point is, like, the Stout Shield, like, right now, like, A-click your own creeps, or your own, there you go. It's really important, like, it's just, like, one of those where, like, the Stout Shield, the purpose of the Stout Shield is to, like, regen you, right? Sorry, go ahead and farm mid. There's, like, to keep you high health against the creeps, but, like, as a PL, you don't need it because of the fact that you can tank it with your illusions. Absolutely, you could have done that. I was trying to focus on farming stuff, but it's too late now. Honestly, it's too late. You should have probably done it. I was focused on farming. I'm not even looking at the rest of the map because at this point in the game, situations like killing that Rubik are unique to this game. The things that you're doing with farming are universal. So that's one of those, like, in your actual game, yes, you should have killed the Rubik. But it's one of those I'm not majorly focusing on those. When they come to your lane like that, like if Lich comes to your lane, just lance him. You know, like go ahead and go back to going back to jungle. But if you sit in your lane like that super passively, what's gonna stop him from next time doing that again? You know, like, and if he comes up to your lane and you lance the shit out of him and like take him down to like half HP, then like he's gonna think twice about coming up to your lane and harassing you again. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, if people come to fuck with you, you have to like punish them for it. Like, you have to be like, oh no, this is my freaking lane, dude. So just keep jungling. But if you don't do that, then like next time Lich sees you mid, he has no second guessing in his mind. Good thing to use W to cut down these trees. Every time you're cutting through trees, going to a camp, it's always good to just pop your W for tank wise and just cut down, obviously to make your path shorter. Always try to make sure your hero itself is not tanking creeps ever. You took a couple hits there. It's like kind of an efficiency thing to improve because it's one of those that you'll never actually have to tank. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. You'll get it down. It's kind of like a feeling. So the Nyx Assassin has an Invis rune on bottom lane, so just be careful. It's one of those where he shouldn't be able to solo kill you, so you should be able to farm, but if you see any other hero, you'd have to run immediately. It's one of those where you don't want to be in lane very long because you're vulnerable, so I lance the other range creep. Like, I kill that range creep, lance the other one, and then keep auto-attacking. Just auto-attack the shit out of that wave. You don't want to be there. Like, you're in danger there. Like, there's no reason. It's also because, okay, so he shouldn't be able to, oh, he has a Dagon. He might actually, I didn't know he had a Dagon. I did not know he had a Dagon. I did not know he had a Dagon. Okay. Just keep running. Okay, well, I learned my lesson because I didn't know the Nyx had a Dagon. That's my bad. I didn't think he could solo kill you. That's also one of those, I hate to say it, like, I'm just going to call it on it as it is. If you had not tanked about 100 of your health over here, you probably would have lived there. And that's one of those, like, I know, like, and also, it's also just helping to make my point. You died after killing that creep wave, right after you killed that creep wave, right? Imagine if you had immediately lanced that range creep, auto-attack the shit out of that wave and backed up. Like, you would have been out of there about 5-10 seconds earlier, and that would have made all the difference. And that's been like a really common theme with a lot of people I've been coaching, is that people don't want to prioritize the fact that when they're sitting in a lane, they are vulnerable to dying. and like that is something that as every carry that is universal. So right now you should probably be able to go back bottom. You should honestly lance him if he's in range, but otherwise no, just go farm. It's fine. Make sure you Midas a creep. Yep, it's fine. It's just as long as you realize you're doing it, you'll like. As long as you keep telling yourself every time you do it, like go ahead and lance the range creep. Like you just want to get out. You just want to get out of here as soon as possible. I know you're not danger here, but at this point you want to go farm the jungle. And so every second you're sitting here farming is a second you're not farming the jungle. So now you go farm jungle. Yeah, go and buy the diffusal. Yeah, go and finish the diffusal. Yeah, brown boots. Yep. The build is Midas, Aquila, brown boots, or brown boots, Midas, Aquila, diffusal blade, boots travel. That is the build. I know I'm right when I see E go boots of travel. So. Yeah, nope, it's fine. It's one of those that instead of using your W to dodge it, it's much better to just walk your hero back. So there's a fight going on mid.
Come on.
You could actually probably clean up. I'd head towards there. You could probably clean up here. Go on the silencer. Just go on the silencer and get out like lance him. Or use your passive to get on top of him and get out. Yeah, get out. There you go. Nice. That's oh, okay, well you might be able to lance him. Lance him? W? Yeah, I wouldn't chase any farther.
Don't chase.
Yeah, I wouldn't chase you. So just go ahead and go back to the jungle. The problem is that, so you just want to kill these camps as fast as possible and go back to base because you're half HP. Okay, yeah. Okay, he missed. Sick. That was for the exact reason why I just said it, though. This Nyx hates you, man. Go W. Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, no, I know. I don't even know if you had time. It was really close. Shit. I'm not bashing you. I was just, like, rooting for you to live there. That was one of those where, like, if I'm in that scenario, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It was just like if you hadn't chased that Slark, it's hilarious to me. Like it's all for me. It's like based on feeling. Like I can only tell you it's not coincidence that that extra second of lollygag that it took you to spawn no illusions at that camp made it so that Nyx knew exactly which one was you and was able to kill you and all that shit. Like it adds up. It's one of those that like I probably shouldn't have told you to go farm that camp just because of the fact that you had stuck around a little bit too long with the Nyx. But that's one of those that if you realize that if you just clean that up a little bit, that wouldn't have happened. And that's important. But go ahead and go farm top. There's like, yeah, there's assloads of farm and it's a disruptor walking there. So yeah, you're gonna buy travels next. Yeah, you did. That's a step in the right direction. People laugh at that kind of stuff, but it's simple and it's fixable. The biggest things for people, I hate to say it, like 3K level is there's a lot of simple things that they don't realize they're doing, and that's just little things like that add up. So once again, every time you want to lance that range creep and get out.
And they're going top.
Yeah, see? So you want to back up. I wouldn't run that way because there's a potential that they're there. So yeah, that's fine. I would have probably taken this path, but either way. But if like for instance, like they're you see two mid now, but there's a decent chance they're all walking this way to find you. Like none of them are gonna walk like this way to find you. You know, like they're gonna take the obvious route for themselves. So go ahead and W down some camps. Or actually, no, mid's fighting. You can probably fight this. You might be able to fight. Never commit with anything though. Like make sure your W's for defensive. Yeah, kill the silencer. Kill the lich too. Lance! Diffusal! Sick, dude. Nice. You might be able to kill him too. W on top of him. It's fine now. He's the only one left. Oh, that's when you W dodge his spike carapace, man. That's when you next level the shit out of that. But go ahead and buy your travels. And have them flown out to you. And buy the Blade of Alacrity for your Yasha too. If you... it's fine though. So, nice job. Making sure you didn't use your W aggressively there was important, because if there was a sticky scenario, because you had a tower, make sure that courier, okay, the courier's going to him. Make sure the courier flies to you, because he didn't tell you to reuse. Go ahead and go rotate through your jungle, like to the right. The reason why you're going to do this is because you have travels now, so you're just going to, like, use W, cut down trees at all times, cut down paths, use your mana, because you're going to go home. So, like, throw your lance out. No reason, like everything that speeds up your farm is your mana, so you're going to use your W to get to this camp. Or that camp, that works too. Like, totally fine. Didn't matter, that's just personal preference. Exactly, so then you're gonna go do farm this camp. As fast as you can. Exactly, and then you're just gonna TP home. Because of the nature of the equilibriums of the lane, see how this one's pushed out? You aren't gonna farm that anyway. So you just finish off the creep camps, and it's the minute mark right now, and now you make it back out. And you probably missed about, whenever you hit this camp, is how much time you missed. You gotta start walking, yeah, no reason to not start walking right now. But like, go ahead and walk to this camp. But you're gonna miss, you missed a little bit more than necessary, but you're gonna miss about 20 seconds of farming. But it's really not 20 seconds of farming because there was nothing else you would have been farming. So you basically spent 20 seconds of your time getting a free regen rune, which is usually worth it. So the minute you spawn an illusion, make sure you're not tanking. Yeah, there you go. Your team's fighting, you might want to look to help, but it looks like they're doing fine. Possibly, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, just keep farming. But at this point, yeah, you're gonna go ahead and push out. You're gonna keep rotating through the jungle. Use your W to cut down trees. It's always worth using W. Like, the lance is the only thing where, like, if you're going back to base, you want to spam it to speed up your farm. But like, go ahead and W on top of. It's always worth Wing, man. I can't even emphasize. Like when you were right here, you should have W'd onto this camp. Like, people ask how you have 950 GPM. It's like because every single pathing that you have, you cut down. As every hero, like whatever shortcuts you can take, you take. People know how to Quelling Blade through trees. Like, even I've watched you do it. Like, as PL, you can cut down an entire thing of trees, which makes your paths infinitely shorter. So you're gonna go ahead and lance the range creep. There you go. Yeah, and then just exactly. You can keep farming because you see the Nyx is dead. You see one mid. You see one top. So you can keep farming. You see two mid. Yeah, you can just keep farming. Yeah, like, that's Rubik. You can actually kill that guy. Yeah, just lance him and kill him, dude. W so he can't lift you. Should still kill him. Nice. Go ahead and just kill the creep wave. Yeah, like, spawn illusions by hitting the creep. Yeah. W it. Sick. Easy. Go ahead and TP top. It's convenient for you. No reason to stick around.
Oh shit. That was rude.
Do you understand why I told you to TP top there? Because, like, you killed a guy, you forced a reaction, and then it's no longer, like, a safe, exactly lane for you to farm, right? Like, there's already a guy bottom. Like, even if you do farm it, you're going to tank, like a couple Frost Blasts from that Lich or something, you know? Like, there's no reason to stay there. It's like, I've done my job, I forced a rotation, now I go leave. Like, that's what the Boots of Travel are so good for. So go ahead and lance the range creep again, like, every time. That's kind of like the mana cost I spend on every wave is a range creep, and then you go walk over to the jungle camps over here, and you W down these trees. Like, it's just constant, like, farming, like, efficiency is, like, the biggest thing to emphasize is PL. And another thing to emphasize is PL, keep going this way. You don't have to wait for your W. But what happens is PL is, like, is gauging when your illusions are going to be able to finish off the camp. What is he doing? I think that's a fake. Pretty sure that's an illusion. Yeah, okay. So he's just doing something weird. You want to go ahead and farm that creep wave. But, like, for instance, like, on satyrs, all those creeps have mana, so your illusions hit like trucks, right? So, like, you can usually, like, spawn, like, 3 illusions and then just ignore them and, like, let the camp be killed. That's kind of like what saves time on PL. And it's just another 2 seconds, you know? Every camp, you're saving 2 seconds. And it just makes it so that every camp you finish 2 seconds, you're getting that extra CS. And by the end of the game, you have 100 more CS, like 40 minutes into the game than you did before. Good TP, that's perfectly fine. I'm glad I didn't have to say anything. Go ahead and buy your mana. Go ahead and buy your Manta. Really important. So just keep pushing it out. At this point, you're about you're about half mana. So I'd use my W instead of lance. And so instead of lancing, I'd use my W to spawn a bunch of illusions. Yeah. Like, that's kind of how I gauge it. I'm half HP, I want to stay on the map, or I'm half mana, like pretty full HP. I don't want to go back just because of mana, so I'm going to use my lance, or I'm going to use my W instead of lance. Yes, you see 2 top, and you see only a. Actually, Nyx is missing. I'd back up. Oh, Nyx is mid. Go and use your W. Use your W.
He has dust.
This is when I spawn my Manta, and I'd spawn my Manta, lance the range creep. Like, this is what I would do. I'd spawn the Manta, lance the range creep, and get out. Like, Manta, go and use your Manta, and then TP home. Like, just to get mana. Yeah, like, that, like, so that's one of those where, like, okay, this is how I establish this. You're right here, right? You're like medium mana, like so. Your survivability is mana. So like these camps are already farmed. There's not much you can do over here. Like obviously these two are here, but they should have farmed those two. And so it's like there's nothing for me really to farm right now. I don't really want to TP top with like medium to low mana. So I'm gonna blow all my fucking mana, killing all this stuff down here as fast as possible, and then I'm gonna leave and get regened. So it's kind of like you could have stayed bottom, farmed slightly slower, and then like TP top and been like half mana, but instead you farmed faster bottom and then gave yourself a regen. You sacrificed a little bit of time to get full health and full mana, which is really important on any carry. Yeah, just be near the fight. This is one of those fights where you want to be farming. You don't want to just be sitting there wasting your time, but you want to be able to fight. So your TP boots are off cooldown, so that's fine. You're going to be able to fight regardless. That's what's really good about the TP boots. Because you can just be farming wherever you want, and then you TP to any fight that's necessary. So just make sure you're spamming your W. Yeah, there you go. So here's what you're going to do here. You're going to kill these two camps. So go ahead and finish the camps. Yep. Looks like there's a fight. TP mid right now. Yeah, go ahead and fight. TP. Sorry, I didn't think the fight was going to break out that soon. Lance the silencer. He's the easy target.
It could have gone so much better if you would have just gone in.
There you go. Diffusal or Lantern? Manta? Oh, you already manted. I'm a noob. Sick, dude. Get him! Get him! Get him! Yeah, sick, dude. Nice. Okay. Oh my god, get it. Oh my god, the extra feed is real. So yeah, you're gonna kill that guy too. Lance and then W dodge. You're gonna practice. Oh shit! Oh no! No, you're fine. Man up on him. No, wait, no, run. You're good. Sorry. I didn't think you were gonna mana get out. Go in W. Oh, you got glimpsed. Sick. Sorry. I thought you were gonna die either way, so I wanted you to man up on him because I thought you were gonna die. That's how I gauged that. So you're good. No. Midas a creep. And no, you will never go hard on PL in your life. Do you hear me? Go ahead and TP home. Sorry. Sell your Quelling Blade and buy a Helm of the Dominator. You will be going Satanic. You will never go Heart in your life ever again on this hero. I'm not trying to bash you. Sorry. That's like it's been a big thing. People keep asking me like, what do you think about Heart on PL? Satanic's so good. Like you'll feel it if you get the scenario. Like if this game's close enough that it matters, you'll feel it, and I'll tell you. Like you'll see. The reason why I argue Satanic on PL is he's a hero that's really good at like disengaging the fight. So you're gonna go ahead and W down these trees, like just to making sure you're doing it. He's a hero that's really good at like resetting the fight, right? Just because of his doppelganger, and it's really hard to identify which one's him. So it's really easy to set yourself up in a situation for a small period of time, guaranteed that you're not going to be stunned. So like having a Satanic is like super good, because like, and like if you Satanic yourself back to full HP, then well, guess what? Your illusions are full HP, like so then your illusions are super tanky, and they can't tell which one's you even longer. But go ahead, yeah, go ahead and go farm bottom. I would go ahead and Manta and then go mid. I would Manta bottom and just go mid. Manta and go TP mid. I would have TP'd mid a little bit earlier, and I would have TP'd to this creep wave, and you probably would have caught that silencer. Do you see what I'm saying? Go ahead and make sure your micro and your Manta illusions bottom. Make sure they're sent down the lane. But yeah, now you just want to be with your team if they're fighting. That's kind of like what you want to do right now. But like right now, you don't really want to. Okay, you can push. I don't know why I wasn't gonna say you can push. I would wrap around the side like this. Like you don't want to just walk down the middle. And if they stay up at the tower, like you doing this makes them do this. So like now you go on them. Like just go on them. They're in position to die.
Whatever it was awesome, and I appreciate it.
Sick, dude. Manta.
So much farm on a PL.
Nice, dude. Okay, so go ahead and Midas it. Yeah. Efficiency. Okay, so that's a big thing that a lot of low players don't do. I'm not trying to. Okay, a lot of people that are below 5K, I'll actually say. I'm not trying to insult you. Is that like if you just walk down the middle of the lane, like that, then the enemy heroes can kind of just stand here, right? But if you do this, then like they either have to back up, which allows your team to hit the tower, or they do that and die. like. That's their two options. Like, do you see how that makes sense though? Like how the strength. Go ahead and Manta and just stay on the stand. I think you can just kill every big, honestly. Like, Okay, so first off, go ahead and have the courier buy your satanic recipe and like go send it to the secret shop. You definitely want that to fly out to you. Definitely want that to take shorter time than this. No, I'm not trying to bash you. I'm just saying like that. Make sure that's something that in the future, like it's really quick. It's obviously not worth me like saying like, dude, you're a horrible shopper. Like, come on. It's just something obviously that should be better. But at this point, I would go ahead and TP bottom lane. Go ahead and go ahead and make sure it's pushed out. Just TP bottom. Get that Reaver, fly it to yourself. In this scenario, I usually like have the courier walk here and then shift click it to deliver, like just so it doesn't like fly over the fight. Otherwise, I forget about it and it dies. So, yeah, go ahead and help your team. I think you can help. Let's see. I think you can honestly take him on. I think you can do it. This is when you test your limits, man. Oh, you should have definitely sick. Manta? Manta? Kill them all! Kill them all! And you're gonna pop your satanic when you hit somebody. Satanic! Satanic! Fucking rape them all! Fuck yeah, dude. This is getting me hard. Not really. That's weird. Nice, dude. Satanic's so good, man. I know it didn't like save you or anything. You probably would have killed them all anyways, but like imagine like a fight that's long and drawn out and you get down to like half HP and then you just satanic and come back to full and kill them all again. Like, I don't know, it's so good. No, I usually like to go, okay, so I've adjusted my build a bit. I used to go Scotty a lot, and I think Scotty's still a decent item as a last item. Go ahead and go top lane, by the way. No, go top, I meant like just walk to the tower. That's fine, like honestly this game doesn't matter, you're so out farmed anyways. But okay, so here was my approach that it used to be, and I'm gonna explain it to you so you understand like why I'm doing it. That's the most important thing. So I used to go Scotty, right? And I took the Scotty as like, this is my tank item. That'll gives me some stats, makes my illusions more tanky, whatever, gives me a slow. I replaced that with Satanic, because I think Satanic's just better for sustain on the map, and it's also just like it's super sustained in fights, right? Like you can get bursted down to like low health, reset because of the nature of your hero, and then burst back up. So I replaced the Scotty with that, and then after that, like so Scotty makes me really strong against magic damage because I'm high health. So now I just go Butterfly, and I'm like basically unfucking killable. Go ahead, Manta, Satanic. The Satanic was a bit late, but it still did the job. I would go ahead and lifesteal off the creeps, man. You gotta be careful. But so I replaced the Scotty with Satanic. So now like the Scotty and the Satanic both kind of did the same job in terms of like make you a little bit tankier, survivability, etc. So then I like go into Butterfly now because like you're just super tanky. It makes your illusions hit like trucks. And like now not only are you tanky to magic damage, but you're tanky like no right clicker can kill you. Go ahead and Satanic this creep wave. Like, just get your health back. Pretty useful perk of the Satanic. At any time if a fight ends, within the next 30 seconds, whenever your Satanic's off cooldown, you'll have full health again. But yeah, Butterfly, it obviously doesn't matter at this point. I would have probably, somewhere in the middle of this, probably right when I bought my Satanic, I probably would have bought my second Diffusal. Just because of the nature of the game, where like you were so far ahead or like, not so far ahead, that you were doing enough with the diffusal charges you had that you could still like, you're not gonna like the decision between upgrading diffusal is like, do I think I'm gonna run out of diffusal charges this game? And it's like, I'm doing really well, I don't think I'm gonna run out, kind of thing. So then you upgrade your diffusal. That's kind of how I view it though. Why did he dust? God, gotta get that invis PL. But yeah, I mean overall, it's one of those where the laning stage, the last hits were a bit sloppy, but that's something where like, you know, that's on you to just work on. Like that's like the focus is like obviously the ones where you miss the last hit by 5 health. Those aren't the ones where I'm like, God, you suck. Like those are the ones you need. Those aren't the ones where you need to think about. The ones you need to think about are the ones that you weren't even in position to get. And a lot of that actually has to do with the passive. Not leveling your passive. Makes it so like if you do level your passive, it makes it so like certain last hits that you weren't originally in a position to get, like say there's a range creep that's under tower or something that's like most of the time as a melee hero, you wouldn't want to go for it. But if you're PL, you'd be like, oh, I can quickly blitz this down with my passive and then get out. Does that make sense? So, like, that's one of those, like, the passive's really good level 2. You ended up fucking poning. Wow, you are the worst team player I've ever seen. 0 assists. I actually don't think I've ever seen that. But no, so that's fine. That was pretty much the story of the game in terms of, like, all you really did was, like, come into the fights after the other team had blown all their shit and just killed them all. So that's perfectly fine, honestly. That's a perfectly fine thing to do as a carry. But the biggest thing to focus on that I was this applies to every carry, but like in PL, obviously I can give you the specifics, is like acknowledging what you're like, kind of planning your steps ahead, right? So like when I told you bottom, like, hey, you're gonna blow all your mana and go back to base. It's kind of like, yeah, at that time I told you there was no camps to really farm. Like the minute mark was like the 35-second mark, right? So if you blow all your mana and go immediately back to base, you'll be back to base and full regen by like 50 seconds. And then if you walk right out at the 50-second mark, you'll get to the camp at like the 5-10 second mark of the next minute, which means like, hey, I just got a free regen rune, farmed the entire bottom lane, pushed it out, and wasted 5 to 10, not wasted, lost 5 to 10 seconds of my farming time in the jungle, and that's all I spent to get a free regen rune and push out the lane. Like that, so that's one of those like planning out what you're going to be doing, or like looking at the map and being like, okay, if I finish this creep camp, where am I going to go? Right? Like, what's my next step? And if the next step is I'm going to finish these 2 creep camps and there's nothing left, then hey, I'm going to fucking blitz down these creep camps and then TP home. Like that's like, and that's one of those things where they add up. You know, if you are sitting in lane and not lancing that range creep and auto attacking, then that's probably 4 to 5 seconds that you're not farming the jungle, and that could be the difference between you finishing a creep camp at the 57-second mark compared to like the 2-second mark, so you miss the stat, like you missed the next creep camp. And that's why I try to emphasize to people like, it's all about the little things. So for you, in PL in particular, for any hero, it's really good to always just shove in your, like, obviously not including the laning states. It's always just good to shove out your lane, put pressure on the lanes, because I've also talked to other students I've had, or like, I don't know what to call you guys, if players, I don't know. So that if you push in the lanes, right, as a carry, if you're pressuring your safe lane, then if there's like nobody defending the tower and there's just creeps hitting it, that makes you be like, what are they doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if like they're just missing. Like, what they could be doing anything. Like, be careful, team, they're missing. But like, if you're just like AFK farming your lane, like, or like, you know, stagnant farming your lane, then like you have no idea if there's anybody bottom. They could be 3-man ganking you for all you know. But like, the only way they can find you is if they like smoke through your lane and then like happen to find you in the jungle where in a position that you can't get out. Like, that's the only way they're going to kill you. But if you put yourself like stagnant farming the lane, then they just have to gank you because you're in vision and they know exactly where you are. So it just makes it much more difficult for people to kill you. And as a carry, if you're just shoving in lanes and then leaving, because if you shove in a lane and leave, like you can put yourself in the scenario where like if you're trying to gank somebody, right, then if you see them in a lane, you're like, oh, let's go kill them. Like, that's like your first reaction, like, oh, let's go try to gank that guy. And what happens if you try to gank a guy and 10 seconds later he's gone, right? Like, he's not there anymore. So like that's how you're wasting your time. You can't find him, and like you're like, shit, he TP top. Like, you know, it's always like, that's why I hated playing against Tinkers, because like you're like, oh, let's gank this Tinker, and then like 5 seconds later he's gone. Like, you can do the similar concept on all on all carries. Which is a big deal, like in terms of if you make yourself elusive and unpredictable, like then you're so much harder to kill. So like if you're shoving in the lane as fast as possible, that makes it so that the amount of time that you're like that they know where you are is less. That's the amount of less time that you are vulnerable to dying. So that's just the big thing. And also just like as PL in particular, like I was trying to harp on you really hard. Just using your W to cut down trees and blink through shit is like 100% necessary. Like, why would you not? You know, it's a 10-second cooldown. Like, as long as okay, obviously, if you like see nobody on the map and think there's a potential that they're ganking me, then yes, I don't use my W. It's just like if I'm anti-mage and I don't feel like I have map control, I'm not just gonna blind blink onto camps, you know, like because I might blink into 3 people and die. That's just like something I'm not gonna do. But if you're PL and you have like any semblance of map control where you're not concerned about dying, you should just be Wing between every single camp. Because not only does it make it so that if you are concerned about dying with your W, worst case scenario, they're going to walk into the camp and find 6 of you, right? Like, so like, it's one of those as PL, it's like, how are they going to kill you? Like, or like, they're not going to like look and go like, oh, like, I'm going to hex this guy and kill him, right? Like, no, there's 6 of you, like, we have to somehow first nuke it, which gives you an extra second and a half to react and get out. So that's just a big thing, like the use of the W on PL, or Doppelganger. I call it W because I'm a query user. But yeah. So my question for you is, after I've rambled on for 10 minutes, any questions? Okay. So you're asking me about. Sorry, nobody can hear you, so I'm repeating the question. So you're asking about an early Vlad's on PL. Okay. So my opinion on an early Vlad's is, this is what I've explained. I've actually been asked this question by another student. As PL, what I've noticed from just like as a carry player who's very experienced being a carry, and just that I play a lot of a feel, like this feels effective, or I feel effective. If you buy a Vlad's on PL, this is how I imagine it. Like, this is why I bash it so hard, and even yet I still see pro players do it. So this is actually one of those, like, I'm so strongly against certain items they buy on certain heroes, and PL with Heart and Vlad's makes me sick. But so like this is how I look at it. Vlad's cost 2,000 gold, right? So what does it do for your illusions? Your illusions don't last long enough to provide a Vlad's aura for a creep wave. On the old PL, maybe it was reasonable because you could spawn enough, like your illusions lasted like 20 seconds or something, so they could like push a tower with a Vlad's aura and you wouldn't have to be there. But now your illusions don't last with that, right? So they don't give damage to your illusions. They don't give lifesteal. The aura hardly does anything for your illusions. So really all it does is make it so that if PL's himself is in the lane, it gives some armor to the creeps and it gives you some lifesteal. So, and it's 2,000 gold. So like, and that's how I look at it. And then you take Ring of Aquila, which costs half as much, and while it gives you no lifesteal, it gives you 9 agi, which gives your illusions, like this may not seem like much, it gives them 2 damage, but more importantly, it gives them 9 attack speed. So like, your illusions will spawn more illusions from that, and once you get a diffusal, the illusions just attack faster, so like they just obviously do more damage. Like, every illusion has 25 damage from a diffusal, so giving it 10 attack speed is making it so that you have 8 illusions at level, or 7 illusions at level 11. Your 7 illusions now have 10 attack speed that all do 25 damage, so that 10 attack speed is multiplied by, explicative, like in terms of just so much more efficiency. So like, all you're sacrificing by going Ring of Aquila over Vlad's is the regen. And that's my opinion. Like, sure, you're giving slightly less armor to your creeps, but you're not fighting with your team really anyway. If you're like an offlane PL, maybe. But like, if you're a safe lane carry, like you showed up to like a fight at the 17-minute mark, probably was the first fight you showed up to, and that's not bashing you. That's perfectly fine. Like, that's the right way to play PL, ideally. So like, if you're not showing up to fights, what are you offering to your team with your Vlads? And that's like, my argument is I'd rather go 1,000 gold, and worst case scenario, buy a bottle, which not only is a bottle giving you all the health regen you'll ever need, but it also gives you mana. So like, I'd rather go Ring of Aquila plus a bottle, which in the end costs 400 less than a Vlad's, and it gives you 9 agi for your illusions, which really adds up. And then once you get the diffusal and travels and everything, like, I think Satanic's just amazing. Like, I've tried it several times, and any game I get a Satanic and I'm able to, like, where I'm not behind, basically. If you're behind, like most of the games I lose as PL, even the game I lost today, I get to Diffusal Manta, and then I don't get another item. Like, I just don't have time to get another item. Like, that's when we lose. And like, I had my Manta Diffusal Travels Midas at like 21 minutes, and it wasn't enough. And it's like, those are the kind of games you can't gauge on. Like you have to gauge on the games where you're like this. Like, I felt like, I don't know, for you, did you feel like that Satanic did some work? Like, I thought it did. Yeah, save your life once or twice, exactly. And that's one of those where like the Heart's nice for sustained pushes, but PL's not really like or when I say sustained pushes, like kind of like long, like I finish a fight, then regen slowly up. But PL's not really like that. You want to like kill somebody and then disengage and re-engage because of like how your passive works and your W works. Like, that's just so much. Like, his kit is all about like disengaging and re-engaging. So like, I just love the Satanic because it's just like in and out, like quick full health again and go again. Which is just really effective, I feel like, on that hero. But that's why I don't particularly like Vlad's. I think my build, like, the travels is really just because of slots and the fact that, like, it's kind of like, he's really slow, first off, and then the nature of the hero, you always want to be farming because of, like, how he works. Like, he can just farm so fast. Like he just farms so fast, so that you always want to be farming, but you always want to be able to be at fights, and that's what Travels allows you to do. No matter where your team is fighting on the map, you can show up. So they're just like honestly, I don't recommend Travels early on very many carries at all, but like on him, I think it's core. I think it's like 100% necessary, and it's been backed up. I've watched like 3 or 4 pro games of safe lane carries, and 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4, like all but one of them went Travels early. Like EE went Travels. I saw Black get Travels. Like I just saw other people get Travels. Like and it's just one of those where I'm not trying to use like everyone's doing it, so you do it too. It's just the fact that if you try PL without Travels, I feel like he just feels completely immobile. Like in terms of you're stuck in your lane, and if you want to go jungle, you walk really slow. And stuff like that. And the movement speed, like when I say movement speed, it's all about movement speed and Wing between camps. Like all of that travel time, if the minimizing that is farm speed. Like not only is it like the tread, sure, their attack speed, but I'd much rather be mobile and be able to show up to every fight than have 30 attack speed. And that's my opinion on it. Yeah. Any other questions? I did start a little bit late, so you still got about 5 minutes if you have any questions. And since nobody can hear you, I might as well ask. I'm gonna look with a complete straight face. Did you feel like you learned something? That's okay. I'm not gonna respond because I don't want people to know. So, but yeah, no, man. I really so all I can say is that last closing remarks. I obviously talk a shit ton. So, is that for all people who I've coached, if you ever have I hate to say it, I don't have enough time to like check replays for you, but if you have a question about something, or like say like if this happened, like you give me a scenario and this happened, what should you have done? I can like if you have questions about something, feel free to ask me. Just message me. And also just like if you want another coaching session, then just feel free to PM me about that. Just do it on Steam since we're already friends. And then, but otherwise, man, like I appreciate it. And I don't know, like it's kind of complicated. Did you already PayPal me or did? Okay, cool. I haven't checked yet. I will trust you on that one, and I'll check later. And if I end up being disappointed, then hey, what can you do? So, but no, man, I appreciate it. I do have to go. I don't have to go, but it has been time, and I think people are wanting me to play, even though I probably should go to bed. But no, man, just yeah, like I said, feel free to ever ask me a question, and also, sorry, this is actually what I meant to say as well. Is that when you're just working on your hero, like work things one at a time. Like if you're working on farming efficiency, play it with one hero. Like I'd say spam the same hero 5 times in a row. Like if you're working on farm, like when I told you to work on farm efficiency, when you play PL, play PL 5 games in a row, and make sure that you are Wing between every single camp. Like take what, like everything you're doing. Like it was fine. Like hey, when I said never Midas a range creep again, like ever. Like I still do it sometimes because I just space out. But like every time I do it, I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have Midas that range creep. So if you're telling yourself like, shit, man, I didn't do it. Like it's one of those that if you go like, shit, man, I should have W'd between these creep camps, then it's like, do you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of like that's how you fix it. Because if you have it in the back of your mind, just think about things like that. Constantly spam, like lancing the range creep. And like when I said lancing the range creep, and then you told you not to do it when you're at like half mana. And that's one of those like next time maybe you might do it when you're half mana and be like, ah shit, I didn't have enough mana to use my manta before I TP'd home. Why not? Why did I not? And it's because you lanced a range creep extra. That's one of those. That's why I tell you to like save your mana because like as PL you want to be able to like manta and leave kind of thing. So just. Yeah, to focus on that kind of stuff. And then, like, once you get it down, the farming efficiency part, like with PL, once you've done all the things that we just talked about in this game, then, like, take another hero and do the same thing. Like, with like, say it's Morphling, making sure that you, like, can, like, if you have a bottle, what you can do, the strength of Morphling, if you go, as my build to go, like, bottle and then Scotty, is that if you drop your Scotty and you, like, bottle twice, because if you drop your Scotty and you're, like, full Agimorphed, you're at, like, 300 HP. So if you're, like, no HP, you just, like, 2 bottle charges and you're full health again. Which is hilarious to me. But like just stuff like that, like on any hero, just abusing the like strength of every hero and understanding what they are. And that's one of those questions that feel free to ask me, like, hey, like what tricks can you do with Slark, or what tricks can you do with Morphling, or like what tricks can you do with insert hero here. That's kind of stuff that you can ask me, and that's one of those things that you want to make sure that you know how to do on every hero you're playing, because first step is at least knowing what you should be doing. So Which, yeah, and basic things like lasting in lane. You did a decent job with creep aggro, but there's a lot of just like basic misses, and that's stuff that's just kind of on you to work on. Like that's not. But all the other stuff, yeah, I hope you felt like you learned a lot, and I appreciate your time, man. And like I said, feel free to message me if you want to be coached again. So have a good night, man. And I'm sorry people couldn't hear you. So have a good night, man. Peace. Okay, so. What's up, guys? Someone need to steal a Scotty when he plays Morph? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't abandoned in a long fucking time. But if I play... What? What's going on? I guess I'm gonna reload Dota. But, okay, so basically, I'm gonna play like 1, maybe 2 games, guys. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you ahead of time. I am like running a fucking mountain in the morning. So, there is not gonna be a lot of Dota to be had. So, like, I'm gonna be running a mountain in the morning, then scrimming, and then streaming tomorrow. So, I'd like to get a little bit of sleep. But for some reason, I'm feeling nice, and I'm gonna provide you guys with a game for sticking around and watch coaching. PL is good versus troll if your team doesn't feed, and that usually doesn't happen. If you can get... Okay, 6-slotted PL shits on 6-slotted troll. Let's leave it at that. Like, when I say shits on, I mean shits on. Like, not even close. Show me your swag. Huskar mid or riot. Philosopher, you missed my Huskar mid, dude. You missed it. It was in a Nell game. I actually played Huskar mid yesterday. Dude. Thoughts on edible underwear as a nutritious breakfast? I don't know. I don't know about nutritious, but yeah, I'm going trail running. I just said running a mountain because it sounds cool. If you spectate a ranked game, it's on delay. It's on like 2-minute delay. Most efficient way to farm a Slark is just spam your Q with tread switching and quelling blade and all that shit. I mean, I do it every game, so. The optimal 6-slotted PL build in my mind right now, every single game, is Diffusal 2, Manta, Satanic, Butterfly, and then the 5th item will vary. Boots of Travel on top of that. The fifth item will be, like the 6th item will be MKB if it's like a Troll Warlord. It'll be an Abyssal if there's like a Storm Spirit. It'll be like a Scotty if like you just need to be super tanky and there's no reason to have an MKB. I don't think Daedalus is worth it, so I'd rather just have a Scotty. And then also that last item, or that last, also after you've gotten that last item, if you have another 6,000 gold plus buyback, you buy a Refresher Orb, which allows you to TP back to base, refresh, and then come back with full health and mana. You should have full health because you have a Satanic, but full mana, most importantly. I will be at the Red Bull, or the Red Bull lane. We're in qualifiers right now, so like we're in 4-team qualifiers. So yeah, like we're participating in the qualifiers for sure, but only one of the 4 teams actually goes. So, but yes, I will be on the team that is qualifying. So if we do qualify, I will most certainly be there. I only had 1 item on my fridge right now. What would you want it to be? Probably a banana dancing for me. Pikmin, I love playing Terrorblade. He blows a dick. Quelling Blade is super necessary on Slark. Super necessary. I have a new message. Do you think Orchid is good on PL? No, because it gives him no tankiness. Gives his illusions nothing. If it doesn't give your illusions something, then you're doing it wrong. A Soul Cuirass could be reasonable as well. If there was an Elder Titan, I would definitely pick a Soul Cuirass on PL. I know for a fact that Ags does not give you 360 dunks on Huskar, but it was pretty sick when I did that. That was pretty awesome. That was a sick 360 dunks. That actually like made my night last night. I was having like a shitty night of Dota in terms of just the games, and then I fucking 360 dunked a guy. It's so funny. Uh, how did I get recognition as a pro player? Was it all thanks to Nell? It was actually all thanks to Nell. I'd played in CEVO upper division with a team that I worked my way up with a bunch of my friends, and I got a little recognition from being recognized as like a good player by several like tier 2 teams. But like not until I won Nell did I get anything. Like anything. And it wasn't because I won. It's not just because you win. Like in all honesty, it's my general attitude. Like I know I flame in pubs because the people are idiots, and if you're playing with non-idiots, then you don't have to flame. Um, so, but no, like it's about the attitude, and it's all about like impressing people. Like I went into Nell and like I had a good attitude. I picked good picks. I had smart drafts. I showed my knowledge of the game, and people were impressed by it. And like in no way am I perfect yet. Do I have everyone has a long way to go, but like I've just shown that like I have the desire to win, and a lot of teams like you can ask any of these big teams like they want more than just a good player, you know. It's all about how you feel on like your perspective on the game, and I hate losing. And when I flame, it's because I'm not mad at that person. I'm mad that I'm fucking losing. Okay, if the person's the OD that I had last night that intentionally feeds mid, then yes, I'm mad at the person. I'm playing on US West because stream stream makes me lag more. So, and I'm a US West person. That dunk was dope as fuck. I don't think they need to rework the comeback mechanic. I like it a lot. Coaching is $20 an hour. It may go up to 25 or 30 depending on the amount of availability I have, because there's been a lot of people requesting coaching. But if people only want one lesson ever, and that means I have 15 new clients every week, that's fine. Whatever. I'll only charge 20. I'm only going to charge more than 20 if the demand goes more than the hours I can provide. Yeah, Godshand's a good... Oh, excuse me, I just burped. Godshand's a good player. Our team name is Summer's Rift. What's your secret to winning Nell? I farmed really fast. What do you mean by scale? Culling Blade gives 32% upgrade to base damage. It's not just base damage, it's all damage. Like if you have plus damage, it also gives it to that. Buck Fanana, man. I'm in your mind. Can I play carry IO? No, I can't. Do a hard carry Treon Protector. I don't love you guys that much. You hope OD stubs those to toe for the rest of his life. Yeah, but I'm playing the game or two. Good night, my mother. Okay. This is a cool mom right here, guys. What is the delay on my stream? It is like 30 seconds.
Is it?
Yeah, it's 30 seconds.
What is that?
That means like whatever I'm saying now, they'll see 30 seconds from now. And that's only to prevent stream sniping for things such as Roshan. Yeah.
It's not because I got a shitty...
No, it's not nothing to do with the internet. I just like I have a lot of people watching my games, and if the other team knows the second I'm doing Rosh, I'd like to be able to finish it. So
Your turn to pick.
that's why I have the delay. It's really not that long. It's max 40 seconds. Mask of Madness is fine on Mask of Madness is fine on Dusa, by the way. I really like it a lot.
Don't forget Susan arrives tomorrow.
What is?
Susan
Cool.
and...
I go to school in California, and I just recently moved in home with my mom while I'm over break to save money on rent. So I guess you could say I live with my mom. I haven't lived with my mom for 4 years, but if you want to count the fact that the 6 months of school that I'm not taking to play Dota and save money on rent, that I'm staying with my mom because she has great internet and it's free to live here, relatively, then yeah, I'm a horrible person. And I live with my mom. I like the new MMR showing thing because people give me carry whenever I ask for it, except for some assholes. Yeah, the farming on Medusa with Mask Madness is ridiculous. It's so good. I wouldn't go E-Plate on PL. There's like a very situational, I can't even come up with it, but there may be a game where it could make sense just because of the Agi. Lich versus Lich 1v1. Go hug my mom. No rent and no home cooking. Yeah, and home cooking. Hell yeah. One fucking time. One time. Sorry, guys.
5 seconds remaining.
I believe, or I have a dream that one day, there will not be a troll on the enemy team. Oh, I can tell my mom to fuck off, yeah. It's always a joke, though. If I'm ever serious, she'll get mad at me. Sadly, I used to be ranked like 9th, but now I'm ranked, yeah, like 28th. I don't like the no snake build on Deuce. I think her snake's really good. I think that Sniper's first item should always be a tanky item, like Sanjay Nash. Like always. I can't really think of a scenario where it's not the right call. I really like Maelstrom as a second item, but otherwise, no. Is my posture bad or am I short? I'm putting my feet up on the desk, so I'm leaning down. My posture's not horrible. I am short. I'm 5'9", but I'm not tiny. I'm just leaning back on my chair, so when I sit in my game, it's not gonna, and when I'm playing my game, it will not look like this. Protecting my mom from my ex-mic. How should I get out of low MMR? That's a very general question. It's something that makes me rage. Did you see my OD yesterday? He would. What a fucker. Picks fucking Ember Spirit, man. Yeah, they buff Snake a lot. I saw somebody talking about it getting buffed. Actually, no, we're gonna do this. No! Poor me. No! Whew. We did it, guys.
I think all of us can agree.
I don't know why I'm still here. You guys don't appreciate me for my body. Something like that. Yeah, it's not really short, but people call me short anyways. My mom's pretty supportive. And Shadowblade on PL, I tried it once. Don't do it.
30 seconds to battle.
He warded our camp. I hope one of you guys has sentries. Sick, you do. We win. It's warded right around here.
I'm in trouble, boys.
At least I thought so. He walked over here for no reason, I guess.
Alright, 4 top, and they didn't kill me, so that's cool.
Battle begins.
We are cold, ready to strike.
I don't know why my supports aren't at Ruin, but it's fine, I guess. It's all good.
As needed.
I'm pretty sure I right-click spam the shit out of that.
We understand.
If I had skilled my passive and I followed him with his strike, that would have been pretty funny. That was depressing though. No reason that should happen at all. My support should have been there at the rune. Okay. I need to quit Dota.
We see. Onward.
She's not even in XP range. I don't care about denying.
A good idea.
Okay. Okay.
Without delay.
Just to draw the creep aggro, I did that. This is a disaster, guys. Oh my god, he fucked up the creep pull.
Yes.
What happened?
We march.
He blocked the other camp. The medium camp.
We move.
I mean, this side.
So go ahead and stack the small camp and then do it.
Yeah, I will do it. I didn't see before.
You're reported.
Needed.
He decided to is reported.
We will. We agree.
I've missed so much CS. I've missed like 3 or 4 unnecessary CS. Sick, dude, we won.
Simple. Without delay.
At this point, the lane's gonna push, so I'm gonna try to shove it into his tower so that it can somehow push back towards me.
Now.
That's like the only way I was gonna clear out the range creeps is if I did that. Now I can try to pull the lane back by auto attack denying. But after the way they played it, they kind of butchered my lane. So
A good idea. We will take them. Quickly. Apologize.
I've got tangos for days, and I don't need to use them ever. I guess if I'm denying every single creep, then whatever.
We see. Like spearfishing.
Is Earthshaker doing anything?
They cannot hide from us. We move.
Oh, sick, dude.
Our numbers grow. Onward. There. Battle comes. We understand.
I got top room.
How does this keep getting pushed?
It is right. We rush. Illusion. Such simple.
What an ass. Hut! Hut! Ugh. Ugh.
Yes.
Gotta give it sound effects, guys. Everything in life is better with sound effects.
To battle. We march. Yes. As
Can I hit creeps?
we are more
I wouldn't be tanking the creep wave so much if I didn't have 6 tangos left. I think I just said 6 tangos.
yes.
I think Midas is pretty important. I hope this guy doesn't die.
We agree.
Earthshaker's the one that's been pulling. Why does he not have boots? I mean, I know I don't have boots, but I'm farming a Midas. It's gonna be a late as Midas for not going any boots. Wow, our sniper's just shitting on this Ember. Game is won. Pretty sure I have a 4K mid shitting on a 5K player. Feeling.
I got a bottle coming. I'm gonna try and get top.
The last time as PL I said that the only way I lose the game is if I fuck up and then my team threw the game to shit, so let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Watch out, Bloodseeker might be here.
Quickly.
Not much to comment, this is a pretty free farm lane. I mean, it got fucked up a couple times and the Phoenix got more levels than she should have, but it's fine. Okay, sweet, I got the attack off.
I'm under attack. As
Sorry guys, I'm kind of tired, so I'll still play, but not nearly as much commentary right now.
without delay.
You just got to hear me talk for like 10 minutes straight.
Decoy.
Tank their way with my illusions.
Yes. We will.
Okay.
Sniper, Mike, you could just kill the troll. If you assassinate him, he's just sitting here and I have fucking rockets. It's up to you though.
We see.
Literally, there's no fucking hell. Look at this guy.
As ordered.
I might actually just TB top.
Our lance is ready. We will set things.
There you go.
Killing spree.
That's all I needed, boy.
Oh no! Oh no! Disaster! I tried to use my W and then I leveled it. Oh god. Disaster. Well boys, how to misskill PL.
As needed.
Coming for that rune if possible. Just protect it.
Without delay.
Coming. Thank you.
Swarm.
We can kill Ember.
What levels Phoenix?
For
4?
victory. Such power.
I'll just fucking level my ulti so that doesn't happen again.
Please, fast.
Multiply.
Nice fissure, dude. Very nice. So nice. Can I not walk this way? I guess I'm gonna have to lance this creep.
We march.
Wow, really?
We agree.
I am Garbo.
I'm in trouble, boys. I'm in trouble, boys.
He's in trouble, boys. Oh my god, I didn't mean to.
Oh shit. Fuck.
Yes.
Radiant structures are fortified. Your top tower is under attack.
We rush.
If I had my passive elbow, I might have been able to kill him.
Tower is under attack.
Come on, illusions, I believe. Really? Okay, well at this point I've already missed the lane of CS, so I might as well just keep hitting the creeps. The jungle.
Yes.
I usually don't miss any lane CS to do this, but... Really? Ow.
A good idea.
Dude, the input is real, guys.
A decoy. We see them.
Get out.
So glad I have this extra point in my W.
It's just out.
Paying off dividends.
We move.
Pushing out my lane, doing my damn thing. Missing a CS. Yeah, I kind of knew that was gonna come.
We rush.
Why are they microing it? Why did you micro it back into the visage? What?
Understand.
What?
For victory.
What?
Yes. Yeah. Our pipe finds you. Chase this. Yeah. Easily.
Big dude.
We hunt.
Your top tower.
What? Is he supposed to kill me by himself?
We march.
Oh, it's Phoenix here.
We move.
Just micro that courier back into the visage just to kill it.
We shall strike. Attack quickly. Without delay. As ordered.
Okay.
Now. We feel the rush into battle. Yes.
Spawn illusions. Spawn. 40%. My farming speed is probably ridiculously slow this game.
Good idea.
Oh, my team is owning. Probably time for me to push bottom. I would use mana, but I'm about half mana right now and I don't want to. So I would just auto attack the shit out of it.
We agree. We will. A decoy. Our
There's shit going down mid, guys. I'm not even looking. Hands off. Taking bottom.
battle comes.
Can this aggro please change? I took a tower, man. And I accidentally just misclicked. And might have still range creep.
As needed.
At least my illusion spawned to get that last hit. That was pretty sick.
We understand. Multiply. We will take them. We see them. We apologize. Without delay, like spear fishing. Yes, our lance is ready. Multiply.
Dude, my team is owning.
See.
Push mid. I got a hook shot. Just push mid.
Why do you refuse to let me have the courier?
We hunt. Beware. It is us. A decoy.
Okay, really? If I don't get this courier before the Ember Spirit gets here, sick, dude. Pretty sure I lanced him. I actually would have killed him with a lance. Too busy worrying about the courier instead of actually killing people or surviving when I'm fucking, all I had to do is not have my guy take the courier when I had it come to me so long ago. At least they killed the Phoenix. I'm just passive aggressively raging my fucking sniper right now. Like, all you have to do is just tell me you're using the courier. That's all you have to do, man. That's all I ask for. And then don't use it. Use your stick to get out of Bloodseeker range. Use stick.
Tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Can somebody TP top and help me kill this guy?
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna show, but I'm coming in.
Okay, got you.
Now.
Killing him.
I have no hook shot, but
We will find
The W purges off the attack miss.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
it's not time yet.
Killing spree.
for the team, boys. Fuck it.
Chase this.
Like that was worth it, right?
It is over.
Yes, I did just walk back towards him and get killed because I walked back towards him. I thought I could lance him before he did that. Which was stupid of me because I obviously can't. What is Earthshaker doing, dude?
Then for you.
He didn't die for him, he just died for no reason.
Yeah, good. Good hood, mate.
So we have a silencer. Oh, he actually just got out. Wow, what the fuck is this game, dude?
Tower is under attack.
So, I have about the same money I had 4 minutes ago. This is what happens when you die as a carry.
Your top tower is under attack.
This is what happens to you when you die as a carry. You get crippled.
For our cause. Forward. A decoy.
Like, I need to stop dying.
Dire structures are fortified.
We march. I'm not ready. Chase this. We shall strike. As ordered. We feel the rush.
And I didn't see the big camp, or the big creep. That's really odd.
Roshan has fallen to the dire.
We We will. Attack!
Oh fuck, I stopped it.
Simple. Easily.
Chop. 4 times.
Gang train is real.
Quickly.
Oh, these trees are mean enough to come back.
Tower is under attack.
For victory.
Your top tower has fallen.
We will.
Not gonna stack if you did it that way anyway.
As needed. Our lance catches the sun. We will.
Get yo. Then possible.
Flaming my build.
Killing spree.
We will. A decoy.
Really?
Now.
Alright, this Visage just gave me free gargoyle, so that's cool.
Is under attack.
They give me one free one.
Attack. We move.
Okay.
We understand. Chase this. Yes.
What? Wouldn't mind this being a bounty rune. Sick.
Mere coin. We see. The decoy. Into battle. Our light finds you. A good idea.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Beware us.
me. Attack him, man. Just fucking attack him, man. Sniper. Fuck.
Attack him, man.
You got it.
Double kill.
A decoy. Without delay. We agree.
Dire's structures are fortified.
A decoy. For victory. Yeah. Poor creature.
Same concept. Used all my mana before I TP'd home. I knew I was going to TP home. I farmed up the top. I'd forced a reaction. Went into the creep camps. I wasn't farming these. Long way back to Ancients. Used all my mana to get out of there as fast as possible. And then went back to base. Got a regen. And then on my way again. Doesn't have a Battle Fury yet. That's really good.
Chase this. Our lance is ready. Battle comes.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Simple. Multiply. Onward. Swarm. We will set things to right. Yeah. We will. Quickly.
The Nimmersphere mid? Guess he went back mid.
We march. We will take them.
As you can see, PL farms like a fucking stud with these items.
Stack this. Stack it. Alright, or just kill it. Just kill it.
We see.
Alright, stack it. Stack.
We are beside ourselves.
Rip, no.
Yes. Easily. A decoy.
Kill that. Oh, never mind.
Multiply.
That's a rip.
That's warded. Heavy ward there.
I don't know why I thought I could help there. I should just be pushing bottom.
We rush. Chase this. We move.
Your middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Your middle tower is under
Sick.
attack.
Beware us now. A decoy.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm just not saying much because I'm not tired. I'm actually just exhausted.
Simple. Forward. A decoy. We will. Now
Sick, dude.
we shall attack.
I should have minus to creep first.
We agree.
Definitely should have minus to creep first.
There.
Wish Silencer hadn't gone top because that's where I was going.
For victory. Hush now. Our lance is ready. As ordered, nothing can stop our march. There.
Jesus.
It is right. Yes, chase this. They cannot hide from us without delay. We hunt We march.
Team just needs to stop dying, but they're all going in.
For victory.
Buddy Syndrome in.
Seek us.
Killing spree.
Structures are fortified.
Jesus Christ. I completely underestimated them. I'm playing so bad. That damage is fucking insane, dude.
Your middle tower is under attack.
That damage. I'm playing so bad. I'm not playing that bad. I'm just like, it's like I'm almost like so exhausted. I'm apathetic, which is not good. It's not good for you to be apathetic in a Dota game.
Under attack.
Oh, he has a Shadow Blade. Sick. Yeah, I was about to say he's gonna go on him. Can't. Nice global, dude.
End of this.
Yeah, we need that Earthshaker blink so bad. We have no initiate. I mean, we have Clockwork, but he just gets shat on. I'm not gonna do anything this game. Those couple deaths early put me behind, so far behind, like a whole 4 minutes worth of farm at the start, which is like exponential into other minutes of farm. I would normally TP top, see if they go mid. I'm gonna kind of wait. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go top now that Earthshaker backed up.
Understand. A decoy. We hunt. We will. As needed. Chase this.
They really just Phoenix ult?
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Now. Yes. Our pike finds you. As ordered.
Yes.
Earthshaker, what the fuck are you doing, man? Shit. Fuck this Earthshaker.
Like, I don't know what to do with teammates that don't do anything as a hero like Peel. Like, I need to be 6-slotted to do anything without them. As you saw, like, even though I'm super fucking farmed, like, the Ember Spirit in Phoenix just shredded me.
Forward.
Your top tower is under attack.
We will find them. We rush multiply.
Your top tower is under attack.
Easily.
Your middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Quickly. There. We shall strike. We will. As ordered.
I don't even know if those will make it there in time.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Simple minds.
Your bottom tower has fallen.
Yes.
So Earthshaker needs a GTFO, man.
Not yet.
Like, I can't kill anybody on their team.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Yes.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
For victory.
was a total dumb.
Bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Can we kill this guy?
We march.
Nah, he back. He knew we were here or something.
Your bottom
Why do
tower
people
is
build
under
Majolna
attack.
versus PL? It's really not that great.
A decoy.
Why are you guys fighting?
Killing spree. Monster
The
kill.
enemy's top tower has fallen. Your bottom tower has fallen.
We have to fight now, Sklog, you and me, man.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
I have a TP, I'm not showing up because it's a bad fight. This is a fine fight because it's in our base and we gotta kill initiate on troll. Like, what is not clear to these fucking 4K players that is not a good fight to take outside of our base? Like, that fight only worked because that troll was hooked underneath our tower and I hardly had to do anything to help kill him. What is not clear about that?
A decoy.
Salt is real.
We see them. A decoy.
This guy stopped pinging, it doesn't help at all.
We move. We are more able and more willing. Mere coin.
It's not up.
As
That's how zoned out I am. I didn't even notice he clockwork flared.
Hush now.
Your top tower is under attack.
Chase this attack. As ordered.
I don't know why you guys are out there. Please let the courier deliver me my item. Still wasn't delivering me my item. We should honestly just let them have Aegis if they go to the Roche pit because we can't fight a Phoenix Egg. What we can do is fight this fucking Bloodseeker. Does he have a BKB? Yes, he does. I'll force him to pop it.
Battle without delay. Yes. Multiply. We will find them. A good idea.
Why is my team fighting?
Kill.
Quickly.
Dead, isn't he?
Hot stuff. Double kill.
He died at base. That's actually a really bad glitch. Like, whatever it needs to do needs to be fixed. Why do you guys keep getting caught and fighting outside of base? I'm actually like super lost. All you have to do is stop doing that.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack.
Don't have fort.
Your
There goes a Rex because my team is Down syndrome.
We march.
Your middle barracks are. Your middle barracks.
Can we fight this now?
Go, go, go.
Your middle barracks have fallen.
Dominating.
Jesus Christ, man. I'm dead.
Spree.
Fucking dead, dude.
Double kill.
We rush. Yes.
What kind of fucking shrapnel was that? Fuck this game, dude.
We move.
So fucking done. Like, yeah, I'm done after this game, guys.
We will.
Like, I know I'm not playing perfectly by any stretch. Can I lance that guy?
We agree. We see.
Did they take Aegis
Stand.
that I didn't see?
As ordered. Now. Our pipe quickens you.
Dude, you guys take fights outside of base when I tell you not to. Stop, and I'll TP to the fight.
Creatures in turn.
Last fight. Right there. That's not a TP spot. Like, are you fucking kidding me? All they have to do is fight in here. That's all they have to do. All game. That's all they have to do. It's mind-boggling. I'm not playing well. I'm not playing well at all. But, like, this game was so winnable. And it still is. Don't fight! Don't fight! Fight at base. As 5. It's amazing what'll happen if you see what happens when we fight at base as 5.
A decoy. Our lance is ready.
Like, god damn, dude. Like, they just refuse. It's amazing.
Hey, you guys understand that he's 30 times better than all of us, so shut the fuck up and just listen to him. Holy shit. You guys play like fucking trash. Listen to him.
Without delay.
Okay, that's fantastic. You can say whatever the fuck you want, but listen to him.
Simple. A good idea. Multiply. They cannot hide from us. Onward.
That is what you should be doing.
Forward.
We can smoke up and look for a kill. That's perfectly fine too, but you guys are just running around the map and getting picked off and then telling me to fight with you when it's 3v5. It makes no sense. It actually makes no fucking sense. To where? Like, to there?
Tower is under
Like, when they push base here, we fight.
Your
I'm coming.
tower has fallen.
Yes, and you won early game, so you secured me farm, and then I threw it away by dying a couple times, and you all fed, and fed them kills.
Into battle. Quickly. They cannot hide from us. Yeah.
Your top tower is under attack.
Am I dead? Okay.
Mega kill.
What is my fucking team doing, dude? Whatever. What are they doing? Are they just jacking off in base? Sorry, I didn't realize that was too far for you guys to move. Oh my god. Raffle, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. I'm so lost. What are they doing? I'm actually gonna go back and watch what they're doing. I'm actually gonna go back and watch.
Your top barracks are under attack.
Double kill. Mega kill.
I will actually go back and watch.
Double kill.
I will go back and watch what the fuck my team was doing that whole time.
Your top barracks
I wanna know.
have fallen.
I wanna know what they were doing.
Your top barracks are under attack.
I legitimately wanna know what the fuck they were doing that whole time. Please tell me what they were doing. That was a perfectly fine fight. I probably could have blink dodged the fucking visage stuns. I have heroes that can initiate. I don't know what they were doing. Like that was I could say something like go on mid, but that should just be fucking obvious. There's 3 top. Not gonna bother. Really wish he'd stop flaming.
We agree. We rush. Hush now. A decoy. Battle comes. We will take them. Yes,
I did.
we understand. Chase this. We will.
Defending top. All 4 of you were defending top. All 4 of you. And all it takes is a sniper shrapnel to defend that lane.
A decoy. A good idea. Yes. A decoy.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
We will. We shall strike. Our lance is ready. A decoy. It is read. Yeah.
Clockwork dies before the fight even starts.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are
Killing spree. Triple kill.
We see them.
Double kill. Killing spree. Triple kill.
We move.
Your bottom tower has fallen.
Beware.
This is Vicious Bird's actually fucking taking my base. I probably could have done so much more in that fight, and I just didn't.
We will find
Basically fucking apathetic at this point.
for victory. A decoy. Without delay. Attack. We will.
Just Game's still winnable. I don't know whether or not to go Abyssal Blade or... I'm actually gonna go Abyssal Blade. There's too many BKBs.
Like spearfishing.
Shut up.
We understand.
Your top barracks are under attack.
Am I really the only one that's gonna defend?
Your top
Seriously?
barracks
Just gonna let it go?
For you. We will find
We're gonna have to let them get Roche, and then we're gonna have to kill them. Probably should have invested in the Basher first. We can totally smoke bottom.
simple. We see.
You can blink dunk the Phoenix. I think we just win.
Now. We
So
will.
far, so far. No, no, fuck, no, no, no.
Yes. Forward. He apologized. Yes. A decoy. Beware.
Ember Spirit is really fucking annoying as Peel.
Quickly. Easily. Forward. They cannot hide from us. We will. Quickly.
I haven't had to use this satanic.
Into battle. Yes. We will.
Dominating.
Yeah, I really wish I had a Basher instead of a Sacred Relic right there.
We march. Multiply. Hush now.
I'll learn my lesson next time. Investing in the fucking... Really?
Easily. We rush. A decoy. Now. Simple.
Mega kill.
Just fucking game of my life. This fucking game of my fucking life. All these guys had to do was not fucking feed relentlessly. I know I did not play perfectly. You don't have to tell me I didn't.
Dire structures are fortified.
Can we just end mid? They don't have troll for 40.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen. The enemy's middle barracks have fallen. The enemy's middle barracks have fallen.
Run. What are you doing, Silencer?
Structures are fortified. Your
Oh god, dude, are we actually losing the barracks to fucking birds? We actually had to fork because of birds. That's actually really bad. That's bullshit, dude. That troll warlord just like... We need sentries all over that fucking barracks. Sentries. We need sentries all over that barracks. I can't be any clearer.
Roshan has fallen to the dire.
We have to push out all lanes, guys. I don't know why you're shrapneling the wave I'm pushing. Okay. Whatever, man. What a hero. Can I get help mid? Oh man, why did I cancel? I could have chased her through that entire dive. Without Ember, they can't stop me.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. What is fucking Dota, dude? Like, I'm smiling because, like, what the fuck? But that is just depressing. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I played like garbage. Like, I made several really bad decisions, but like, okay, guys, we're gonna take this time. We're gonna take time, guys. So, all of you out there that are 4K minus, that are these guys in my game, right? Okay, actually, first off, we gotta check. We gotta check. This is more important. This is actually more important. This is more important. This is certainly more important. This has been a fun time, and I want this to be remembered as the Banana Slam Jam. Banana Slam Jam. It plays like shit all game. Oh, it's already over? What? Okay, what's my items looking like? Okay. I'm geared up and ready to go. I'm fucking geared up and ready to go. God, I'm giving myself a fucking headache. It's time to game, boys. We all understand that it is time to game. It is now le game time. No, 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 no. No, no, no. I have to... No. Okay. We're gonna do free camera. Super slow-mo. Huh. Oh, no, I already killed Techies. No. Okay. Okay, no, wait. Why is it... I'm just gonna do free camera. I definitely... Obviously, that's not my camera perspective, because... Oh, it's Omni Knight. Why am I on Omni Knight? Oh, that was him giving me a seizure. Wasn't me. Okay, so we're gonna do player perspective, Huskar. There we go. Time to slam jam. Okay, there's one. Slow down in slow-mo. 0 fucks given by the Huskar. Slam. Okay, it gets swapped out for no reason. Doesn't fucking matter. He's in for the game. He's played. Slam jam. How about the shit out of her, dude? Okay, timeout. That's one dunk. Oh, you think you're done? You think I'm done, Dusa? Think I'm fucking done? Give her the fucking dunk. Dunk. Ah. No, no, no. Oh my god, the auto attacks are real. Oh, get that guy too. Okay. 0 fucks given, dude. Is this the 360? Is this it? Hit. We gotta rewind. Gotta rewind. The 360 Dunkaroos. The 360s. We're gonna do free camera. Free camera. This is 360s. Ah! Fuck yeah, dude. Okay, wait. Now here's the last thing we gotta do. Okay, we got that. Yeah. Fucks given 0. Here goes. Here goes. Oh, fucking 360 swag. Fucking 360 swag. Ah, I think I'm done.